Back to the 212 NYC. It's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
Fresh haircut, Gail Bennington. And I am Ron Bennington. And we are back here in New York City after a lovely week of best ofs that people enjoyed so much. They wrote to me about it. Also, before that, in our home away from home, Austin, Texas, had a great time there. Obviously, everybody wants to know the Chris Stanley update, and I will get to that. But let's start with a little more pleasant announcement. If you're in the New York City area, have we got an unmasked for you? Gail, you already believe that this is going to be your favorite unmasked of all time.
Yes, this is a dream unmasked that I have been so excited for a long time. We finally got it together.
Mm-hmm.
It's Unmasked with Maria Bamford. Ow!
This Friday, 11 a.m. right here at the Sirius XM studios. This is... Well, Maria doesn't do a lot of long, interviews. And I have to say, I'm somewhat intimidated because, she's such a great character person and she goes into characters. And I've done this before with Tracy Ullman, and it seriously is like being in a Mercury space shot. It's crazy.
I'm such a big fan of hers, so I'm so excited about this. It's Friday, this coming Friday, May 5th, 11 a.m., SiriusXM Studios. Go to theinterrobang.com for free tickets.
I'm really looking forward to this. Now, give me a little bit of advice. If she goes into a character, so I suddenly should do a character too, I assume, right?
I guess you guys should just dueling characters.
Yeah. I don't have that many. I have one-legged Pete, which is, where's my leg at?
That's good.
Where's my leg at?
She's going to love that.
I don't have it worked out past that.
But just standard Maria Bamford would be someone else's character. That's what it's kind of confusing about.
Well, I'm nervous about character work. Ever since I did Saul Goldstein, I want money. And everybody got mad at me, and it went a whole different way.
Oh, yeah, there's always a line.
Yeah.
Everyone has a line.
I guess I did another character no one liked, Afro Sheen Johnson.
I liked Afro Sheen.
I like basketball, man. Dude, by the way, the other day, I'm in a diner because I was down south. I went from Texas to the Carolinas. And there was a guy right next to me at a table at a diner who literally sounded like Bernie Mac, right? And so he's on the phone. He's going like this. No, tell her go get a job. Yeah, she need a job. Go tell her to get one. Little Caesar. Yeah, tell her to get a job at Little Caesar. I don't know. Rolling pizza dough? And dude, I am having the time of my life. I'm like, I wish Bernie Mac were here to see that he's carrying on. So, we're going to talk about our trip to Austin, Texas. But again, these tickets are going to go fast. This is going to be a grand show. Maria Bamford. And she's got a new special out tomorrow on Netflix. I haven't seen it yet. I didn't get an advance on it. But the SiriusXM studios right here in New York City, May 5th, 11 a.m. You know what you and I missed today? Because Andy Radio did a town hall with Goldie Hawn and Amy Schumer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Goldie Hawn.
The beautiful Goldie Hawn.
I wonder how this movie's going to do. I wish them all the best of luck with it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm very interested to check it out.
I laughed at the trailer. I actually yelled out in a theater, this trailer's funny. That could be my new guy. The guy who yells out during trailers.
Maria Bamford's going to love this.
This trailer's too long. Something like that. This trailer's too long. Vito, before I get to the Chris news, did you go to any of the ballparks that you planned on going?
No, I only went to City Field last Thursday.
Okay, that's something. There's that kid that had a complete meltdown about the Mets. Did you see that video?
Yeah, I saw that kid. I want to know where he's from, that he's a Mets fan, because he has like a strong accent.
A strong accent of what?
It doesn't sound like a New York accent. It sounds like a Southern accent.
There's a Southern accent where Gail comes from.
It's true.
The youngins call it country, and then the Yankees call it dumb.
Dumb.
So he might be a Florida kid, but he is not happy with the 23-5 loss we had.
Let's just take a listen. Now, first of all, is this young man old enough to be uploading his own videos? I know.
I don't know what the age is.
Well, according to Silicon Valley, 13 before you're allowed to do your own things on YouTube. Anything under that, and you've broken some kind of law, and you could be fined for it. So we want to... I don't think he looks 13 to me.
Yeah.
I think he looks 11, maybe a 12. And I mean a thin 12. Now, I'm interested in the fact that he cares about baseball. Because young people don't.
Yeah, isn't that a thing that they're losing all their young viewers? Like, there's no, new baseball fans anymore?
They say that the average age of a baseball fan is like 56 or 57, which is great if you're Fox News. Right. They would love to have that kind of youth. But, for a sport. But the sport's been around forever. Now, I will tell you this. I saw a minor league game in Carolina. I saw the Asheville Tourists. Couldn't have had more fun. 10 times more fun than I have at a major. I don't understand why it's more. And this is single A ball. I see a kid fucking rip the tits off the ball, hit a grand slam over this giant wall, right? And I'm like, wow. It's unusual to see a grand slam anywhere. And this kid hit one over this giant fucking wall and into the trees. And I think everybody got something for that. I forget. I think we all got small muffins or something. They give out things nice. Constantly when good things happen. But then, and it's a fun game. I mean, the kids are hitting their ass off. There must have been 28 fucking hits in this game. And a reliever comes in. This kid, I'm watching because they have him clocked. He's throwing 97, 98, 100, 101, 102 in single A fucking ball. This Dominican kid, I think his name was Fernandez. So I'm like, I turn around to a guy next to me. I go, who's this fucking kid throwing this heat? He goes, he's not even the best pitcher here. They got some kid from Colorado Rockies throwing over 100 down there.
Now, why is it so much more exciting than a major league game?
Because it's not the same. You're not sitting there going, is this worth $210? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I had fucking seats for $9 that if I would have went to Yankee Stadium would have been $1,100, and you can't fucking enjoy yourself.
It's kind of how like always that the heavyweight matches in boxing are kind of the most dull, even though there's so much hype around it. But then you watch a lightweight fight.
Yeah, those little flyweights going at each other like a couple of mosquitoes that are pissed off. That's a good point. Yeah, maybe there's more to lose in the major leagues. Maybe you have to, but just the fact
the talent level almost puts everything at a stalemate.
Yeah, you're right about that too. I mean, it is. It is crazy the talent it takes to be a major league ball player. Anyway, let's listen to this young Mets fan who Vito is trying to disown as not being a New Yorker. To me, he looks exactly like Long Island or North Jersey. All right, hit play.
Oh my God, we won 2 out of 3. Big deal. This team is an absolute fucking joke. 23-8. Syndergaard, get out of here, you little Barbie doll. Get the fuck out of here. Go get a little robotic arm, because you can't even stay 2 innings for this team without getting hurt. You fucking idiot. It's all Ray Ramirez's fault, that fucking mole face. Ouch. Get him out of here.
Personal.
You got Kevin Plawecki getting absolutely rocked. I mean, you know it's bad when you can put the backup catcher in there. Like, damn, get the hell out of here and go to the minor leagues, boy. Terry, it's over for you, you little shithead. You little orange, you small as shit. you just need to fucking get out of here. Because I'm not liking what I'm seeing from this team. 23-8, Terry. Better wake this team up. Oh my.
All right, so
He's upset then.
I do agree with Vito that this does not sound like a New York accent.
There is like a little bit of a, when he called him a Barbie doll.
You're a Barbie doll, boy. You motherfucker.
Get a robotic arm. Huh?
I really like when he takes it back and he's like, look, I'm just really not happy with this team.
No, I understand. You know what? I've had bad managers, too. I know what it's like to go through that. This is like a meeting with me and Wicklund. I just have to sit there and take it. What the hell is going on in that show of yours? You motherfucker. Don't fucking sit there with your button nose and think I don't give a shit, because I do. I don't know, but that fucking kid who looks like he couldn't hit the ball out of the infield expects a lot out of others.
He really does.
I thought there was a string hanging from his shirt. That's his fucking arm. Now that kid, his parents should know what he's up to.
Yeah, he probably should. And Moleface was a bit of a low blow.
What are you going to do? The guy's got moles on his fucking face, Doesn't make him an actual mole.
Doesn't make his whole face made of mold.
You know what I see this as? This is Trump's America right here. We expect greatness and we get very angry when it doesn't happen. We expect to get tired of winning.
Trump youth. That's what it is.
Oh, jeez, that's the scariest thing I've ever heard in my life. Just little Trump fans. Chuck in Boston, what's up, buddy?
That kid sounds like it's a lost tape of young Vic Henley.
That's hilarious. Except for, he could be Bama Boy. Vic doesn't seem like he lets his entertainment get him that angry, though. You know what I mean?
No, he seems more like a heated discussion, but not an emotional meltdown like this young man just had.
Vic Henley is an Auburn fan. Mm-hmm. Auburn football. Knows more about it than anybody I've ever met in my life. Actually, Vic knows more about every single fact. Doesn't matter. Like, I would like to bankroll Vic Henley to go on Celebrity Jeopardy and win.
He does have a very, eclectic knowledge as well. Like, he can talk on any subject.
It's like talking to Siri.
I remember, one of the first times I, talked to him, we got in a conversation about Jean-Michel Basquiat, which you wouldn't, expect on, someone with his accent. He's just like, man, he is just one of the greatest artists of all time. Jean-Michel Basquiat. And I'm like, what? This is so weird.
He also, can tell you where to get a fucking pie anywhere. It just, it really is, he's like Google. He just knows all these weird little facts and can speak about them. So anyway, that kid, we got to find out where he's from. That he's that big of a Mets fan. I like he's a Port St. Lucie kid. He sees spring training. Everybody is so caught up with the excitement level. Let me just say this. Don't write to me about Maria Bamford. Go to the Interrobang. Did we even say that? Did we say?
Yeah, we did.
The Interrobang.com. This is like once in a blue moon.
I know.
And she is the queen of that alt comedy.
Yeah, she absolutely is. And she's so funny. And you're right. It's she doesn't do long-form interviews very often, so it's very exciting. Go to theinterrobang.com. Free tickets this Friday, May 5th at 11 a.m. at the SiriusXM studios.
I gotta get a hold of my buddy here, Hard Rock Johnny. Johnny!
Yeah.
Bennington's.
Yeah.
This little kid has a page. Some of his videos he has a Cespedes video that has 26,000 views. And 19,000, 20,000. How does a little kid do this?
Well, first of all, I'll see this next one. I can't wait until it comes out.
Yeah. He's running around calling people a fucking Barbie doll.
There is one since that has 11,000 views if you go to his Instagram page.
Here's the problem for this kid. You can't have this kind of heat and be a baseball fan. There's 162 games, right? Even if your team is tremendous, you're going to have 60 bad days, right? You're going to let that lie. Oh, and everything is always about the Mets with him? Yeah, everything he does is Mets related.
Mets underscore maniac.
He's on some kind of spectrum then. You know what I mean? Like he can't let go.
You gotta have other interests.
Yeah.
It says at the end of his little, follow my Snapchat for private rants, just watch and laugh, let's go Mets, just a satire page.
Oh, okay, so he doesn't mean it.
This is satire.
Right, this is just satirical.
Okay, so that guy really doesn't have moles, or he does? Okay, good.
There's videos of him at the game, so he's obviously a New York kid.
Vito, you're wrong.
He could have been there on vacation.
No, come on.
Well, that shirt he's wearing.
You're grabbing at straws.
That shirt he's wearing there is a shirt from the Port St. Lucie spring training trip.
Okay.
Sweet. All right, Gumshoe.
Maybe he was in Port St. Lucie on vacation.
Oh boy! Now, as soon as I thought Vito was right, Johnny pulled me back the other way. This pointless show that we're doing right now is so interesting. Move over, street jokes. Pointless is the way to go. Oh, Luis J. Gomez believes that he already owns that. That was the beginning of Chris Stanley's meltdown.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did he put on a fucking act in Austin with those people?
He did.
Oh, what a heel. What a heel. And they were booing Chris during the show, and Vito and I joined in the booing, and then later started the booing. It's like, even when he, Chris tried to go to his next thing, we just boo! Very exciting. Very, very exciting. We'll get into that later when we talk about the legend of Chris Stanley. Because I did get a contact that he was a fucking mess in the islands.
Yes, I got only a piece of a story that sounds crazy. That it just sounds like it was a insane weekend for him.
After an insane week in Austin.
I know. Austin was crazy. Austin laid me out.
Yeah. You were beat by the end of it?
I was so beat that I had to split the next week. I had to do a little bit staycation and then go away for the most relaxing trip. I literally just...
Could you see how rough it has to be a road comic and do that all the time? I don't know how they do.
I was thinking that the first night that we got to Austin, and I was like, now imagine that we had Comedy 101 tonight. That would be insane. It would be crazy.
Well, it was so much fun. They run such a great... just a great, you know what I mean? Because we're used to working with the Hard Rock where anything can happen. You know what I mean?
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh,
Johnny, you have a stand-up desk. You know what I mean?
I do.
You don't have the relaxation that Austin has.
Oh my God, they're so chill down there.
Yeah.
But then everything gets done. It's not chill and things fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Hey, things get done here.
Johnny, all I see is you just giving face jobs to the union guys, just screaming at them that the lights better be up or you're going to fucking... He actually said this.
Johnny.
He screams, I'll disembowel you. That hasn't even been said since the Middle Ages.
Shouldn't say that to someone.
I'm old school.
Yeah, you're old. That's way old school.
I mean, really? Back in the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, back in the day. Back in the day when Jesus was around, I hate when people just act like
I know.
Back in the day can be anything from 7th grade to dinosaurs.
Exactly.
Back in the day, T-Rex will fucking bite your ass off.
And usually it's when someone in school doesn't have any idea, just that it was in the past. They're back in the day, Shakespeare time, right?
But if someone starts with back in the day, the next fucking sentence is false. You know what I mean? Because there's always something, back in the day, we fight the fucking North Koreans on my block. And you're like, no, you didn't. You never fought the fucking North Koreans on your block. Well, Johnny, you got to stop in one day soon.
I'd like that.
All right, let's do that. That thing where you bring a little food for everybody. It's like finger food.
Yeah.
I could bring some finger food.
Just apps. Just straight apps.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
App party.
You're a small plates person.
Oh my God, I love a small plate.
I always say this. Can I get a bigger plate with this? Same amount of food, but a much bigger plate.
Now, here's the thing I want. Give me small plate, but give me lots of them.
Yeah.
Like so many small plates that is bigger than any big plate.
By the way, after a week in Austin and in that heat and humidity, Vito just smelled of dead meat. And I go, is that your arm that's dead? And he goes, no, I've been eating barbecue 3 meals a day. He started to smell like a brisket.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that salty food was holding it all in.
They go way salty there, don't they?
Oh my God, I don't know why we ate the same day as the Unmasked, because when I got there, I was just about to pass out.
Dude, look.
That was the day of Sal's Unmasked, right?
Yeah.
Johnny, you used to be a big man.
I did.
Vito was, first of all, I don't know why he's all but wearing pajamas wherever he goes. And he had taken, the heat was so bad for him. And by the way, this is spring. People were saying to me, no, it gets 30 degrees hotter than this. And I'm like, Vito is walking around with a wet washcloth from his room, just a white La Quinta washcloth that he's rubbing on his neck.
That was the funniest thing, because it was in the middle of me and Jen and you standing there just being like, God, it's just so great to be in this warm weather, and doesn't the air just feel good on your skin? And then Vito's just like, what? And I look over and he's just rubbing a hotel washcloth very far away from his hotel out on the street.
Yeah, it was in my back pocket the whole time we were there. And then I would sit down and I'd be like, oh no, now the whole back of my pants are soaking wet.
Yeah, a lot of people said, does he have diarrhea? Because I believe he's wet shit himself.
He's had a lot of meat, a lot of salted meat.
I think I actually said to somebody, could you check me for swamp ass right now? Because I just
that was me.
That was you.
And the intimacy level was too much for me. But I did check. Confirmed.
How did you check?
I'm short, so it's just eye view for me, really.
It's disgusting. That's not easy.
I just had to look forward.
Life isn't easy for the small things out there.
Please change the subject.
Okay. Pissing yourself.
When's the last time you did it?
So, by the way, I got to tell you this story. So, I'm seeing my folks on the way home, right? Your nephew, Lucas, who shoots turkeys and raises goats. And I mean, this is like the farmest farm kid that you've ever seen. And he's got hair like he's in the Black Rose. I mean, it's just, I don't know whether anyone's ever cut this long hair of his. And you got to lean in when he talks because, he's got such a Merlin rap. So I'm driving down the road. He and his family, they've pulled over, right? He jumps out of the car and he's picking wild asparagus from the side of the road. I go, what? We throw it on the grill with a little olive oil. It's unbelievable.
He's like the coolest kid.
Then he goes like this. He reaches in his pocket and goes like this. You want this turkey egg? And I go, yeah, I do. I want that turkey egg.
There's no kid like him on earth. Like, he's just like one of a
He's
kind,
amazing.
He's so
Have you ever heard of anyone picking wild asparagus? I thought he was getting Jimson weed. I go, dude, I'm not fucking tripping this weekend. I can't do that again. My throat closes up. All right, Johnny, we'll talk to you later.
Later, Benningtons. Welcome back.
Thanks, buddy.
Peace, Johnny.
Later.
That's Hard Rock Johnny from the famous Hard Rock in Times Square. Probably one of the busiest restaurants in the entire planet. Johnny runs it all. Like, I talked about him being a screamer. That's just me playing the dozens on him.
Oh, really?
I don't know how he does. He's never upset. He's got an army of employees.
Yeah, I've never really seen him too tense. Have you?
No, his job seems to be like, hey, how you doing? Saying that while other employees. He has like little slap high fives, each personalized to each employee.
Good evening, Mr. Spanky.
He is Mr. Spanky. Look, it's buckwheat, and he's wearing diamonds. Anyway, that's what love is all about. So, I want to say this, too, before we move on. I got a couple emails from people that are old buddy Rorschach, who was a longtime listener, has in some serious health problems right now. And a lot of people wrote to me about it. I saw it all because I don't, I'm not online when I'm on the road. So, thoughts and prayers to his family. But I want to say this. The way that we found out who Rorschach was the same way that we found that kid, that YouTube. He had made a YouTube years ago. And Davey Mack was with the show, Eastside Dave. And wasn't exactly over yet. With the listeners, wasn't even getting a lot of airtime. And he did this hilarious thing that Davey Mack is the next big thing in radio. And we were crazy about it. And we had him do we used to call him Rorschach rants, because he was really funny. But he was a guy that he would get so excited if McDonald's would have a new, item. He'd be one of those guys that waits out front, and then he would YouTube himself. And I think across the board, he would always be disappointed. You know what I mean? That the Choco Taco or whatever they were spending that week didn't meet the excitement. It reminded me when I was a little kid, and I would see a commercial for what toy was in the fucking cereal box, and I would be excited, and I would act like, Mom, can we have Pinkos? It's the only communist thing. And she's like, what? You don't eat that. I go, I do. Just so I could get this little shitty submarine that he would be in the tub. And when you would watch the commercial, it looked like this sub you're taking a bath with an actual sub just floating, and I get it. It's just like this little fucking crappy piece of paper. That's what would happen with him. The excitement level of a new fast food. So we wish him, everything that we can, and also to his family. He's a really good, fun guy. And he was one of the earlier guys that started podcasting. It always was funny to me when listeners would go, would you listen to my podcast? Well, wait, how does that work? Now I'm the listener, and you're the guy with the mic. And I believe every American has a podcast right now.
Yeah, I think it's illegal if you don't.
They come and take you out in the middle of the night. By the way, you got a great get in Austin for Gail Meets Girls.
Yes, the new episode is available. It's Gail Meets Girls with Morgan Murphy, and it was a huge get, and it was a really awesome conversation. She's so funny and really cool. And Jen and I recorded it in our hotel room with Morgan, which was actually a very fun way to record a podcast. We're like, this feels very sophisticated.
And there's an adorable picture of the two of you together out in front of our hotel. And what are you, both the same height?
Yeah, just about. That's usually how I book guests. I just say, if we're close in height, I want for a good picture. Which, by the way, is all anyone's tweeting me about. It's just obsessed with. I think someone had tweeted something like, either she's 7 foot tall or Gail is 4'11". I'm like, one of those is
Gail is actually 6'1", so I don't know whether we can figure out how tall. By the way, Morgan she's so funny.
She's crazy funny, and she was so fun to talk to and incredibly smart. She's had just she's a great comedian, but she's had a tremendous writing career.
That's the funny thing is, because I only know her as a comic, because, you don't always know unless you're watching. But she's had 5 years of a network show. Yeah. She's done Kimmel. She's done the
Fallon,
the Tonight Show. Colbert. Let's try to get this together so we're doing all three. But I found her to be fascinating.
She also talks a bit about the writer's strike, which was at the time it was just about to break news about it. So
are the late night shows going to lose their writers first? Is that how it works?
I think that's where the concern is. I know that are they still doing another step of deliberation? Because I know that they had to vote on it in sections. First the writers and
yes,
the
it's not official yet. But it looks like it's a runaway train.
Yeah. So you can check that out at the Interrobang, or you can also download on iTunes. Gail Meets Girls with Morgan Murphy.
All right, let's get to the alarming news about Chris Stanley. Chris was drunk passed out drunk on a raft in the islands. I think it's St. Martin's. Is that where he was? Mm-hmm. And fell asleep on the raft. I know that the movie 10 is old, but it's an amazing scene where the tide picks the guy up and starts to carry him out. And those riptides can go out miles and miles. And I'll just say this, Chris had to be hauled back in. Also drunk and in the ocean and ends up, he doesn't swim.
He doesn't swim.
So he ended up in a couple things, and he said to me, I just floated my way back in. It was nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking what he went to. But, and you know what, let me just say this about Mark Zito and his friends. I know you just think that he's Belushi, right? Yeah. Like you're a bunch of fucking straight nerds and you think it's fun to have Belushi in your gang. And I get it. It doesn't make sense. Like I never understood why Fonzie was hanging out with Ron Howard.
Didn't make sense.
Didn't make sense. But that's where we are.
Yeah.
But Mark's parents, Chris calls Mr. and Mrs. Z.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
I kind of
they were keeping an eye on him. Chris Stanley is back in the New York groove.
Hey guys, how's it going?
I talked to him yesterday and begged him to stay home today. He was disruptive. He was disruptive.
When I talked,
you've been drunk for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I haven't slept since the Sunday we got back from Moon Tower. I didn't sleep during Moon Tower. No. Got back off the plane, passed out, and then went back at it hard.
Why?
I don't know, man. Plus, I get down in the goddamn islands you're on Island Time, whatever the fuck they call it. It's so fun.
Island Time.
You can get drunk anywhere. Why do you have to go to Island Time to get drunk? Well, now, and I've never said this before, you have color.
You do.
And you told me you sunscreened the whole time.
I just plastered my face in like 70 or whatever. The highest they could sell me, I was plastering my face all the time because since I was in the wedding party, I was told I can't fuck up the wedding party pictures by getting sunburned.
That's hilarious. Just one lobster-colored best man.
First of all, that wouldn't fuck them up. That would make them great. Now, this is why I hate people who get married. Chris has to go in pocket to go to this fucking island.
Yeah.
It's a vacation that he wouldn't have taken on his own.
Right.
And now he's told, don't enjoy the sun.
I did enjoy the sun when I was passed out in the ocean. That was fucking horrifying.
I can't believe you did that.
It was the first night there. And me and Ryan Sampson of the Morning Mashup got banged out drunk at the casino. And then apparently the casino's closed there, so it closed like 4 a.m. Then we go get some food, and then we come back, and the sun's rising. He goes to sleep, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to watch the sunrise. So I go to my room, grab the bottle of Jim Beam I bought, and wade into the ocean and fucking drink. And then at one point, I pass out.
You weren't even on a raft then? This is different from the raft time?
No, this was it, because it was I dragged that into the ocean with the bottle of fucking booze, and I pass out in it.
First of all, I could see if somebody said, I'm on vacation, I want to take my boat drink, my cocktail out, my frosty, stupid, Slurpee-like alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
But not a bottle of fucking Jim Beam.
That's really weird.
What you do when you're on a ski trip and you're next to the fucking bonfire.
That's a winter's drink.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Look, it's not like I would walk into some dark New York bar in the winter and be like, do you guys make pina colada? Like, you got to drink where you be festive. You're just going to take a bottle of whiskey to your face on the beach?
Are you saying be festive or be alcoholic?
And another member of the wedding party woken up early. They'd gone to sleep, and they saw me in the ocean. This was at 5:30 in the morning. Right before I was about to fucking go out.
Oh my god, that actually looks like. Remember that picture of the guy before the tidal wave hit? It's so creepy looking.
Native people should be yelling, "Uh-oh, Poseidon is drunk."
The
Now,
The fat man in the sea.
Come on. Jesus.
You do look slim here. Send that over. We got to put that up.
Oh my God.
Yes, when I came to the next morning, that was sent to me.
By the way, I understand Zito only calls you Trump cuck from the things that he had put out.
I didn't even know that.
I fucking called him on his honeymoon, and I said, Chris Stanley's very fucking important to me. And he goes, you mean as a person? I go, no. As somebody who keeps my show humming, okay? He's very fucking important to me. I said, I need him back here safe. He's like, Ron, this is my honeymoon. I go, yes. That's why I didn't want him there. Do not fucking drown him.
It was touch and go, man.
Send that over so people can see it.
Sending it over now.
I mean, it looks like Hemingway lived. What will you do? You're not even swimming. You're just standing and looking at the fucking shore.
You look so creepy. Now, who took this picture?
It was someone from the wedding party.
Instead of trying to save you.
No, they were just looking and being weirded out.
They were probably up early, getting their nice days started.
The Zito family is a very nice family. That's the problem here.
I know, they're wonderful people.
You don't fit into that kind of world.
No, not at all. All right, so I noticed, like, throughout, like, the 4 days or whatever I was there, like, the rest of the wedding party guys were all hanging out together, and no one ever really wanted to hang out with me.
Aww.
Mostly me and Ryan Sampson of the Morning Mashup getting drunk.
Sampson's a good man.
He's a great man.
Okay, relax. People are putting fake pictures of you in this thing.
I hope they're flattering.
But why does Zito call you Trump cuck and you wouldn't even run with that bit yourself?
Because that's the social media. That's why.
Social media.
I think that's what it's called.
The social media.
How was the food?
It was good.
Yeah.
Like every other wedding, though. I mean, the steak. I've never had a well cooked steak at a wedding, though.
You mean well done, or
no? Like I guess cooked like correctly. Like they were well done. It was
too done.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That's what you're doing.
Well, I ate about 2 dozen conch fritters, though. That was
Oh yeah, those are good.
That's good as fuck.
It's conch, by the way.
Conch.
They get very upset with you down there if you call it conch.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, I'm sorry. What else is on the lunch menu? Since you fucking act like you can just take something that's fucking spelled conch and then get mad at me for fucking...
Just spell it correctly.
Yeah. I'm phonetically reading here, okay? I'm educated. Locust Hill Elementary. Well, we're glad to have you back. By the way, send Jen in. I just want to show something. There's Mark Norman walking by. Hey, they're special.
Here comes Jen.
Now, this is what an island person is supposed to look like, okay?
Yes. This is an island native.
Yes. Yeah. That, what you are, Chris. You shouldn't be on the island.
I'm just a derelict.
Let us know when they put that picture of you up on the Bennington, because I know there's always a beat or two. By the way, Gail, did you see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I didn't see it. I taped it last night.
I just want to say this. Lenny Kravitz is a vampire. I met him in 1989, and he looks exactly the same.
Yeah, he's like, it doesn't make sense.
He's scary.
Yeah.
That he can still look that way. So, Chris, I'm going to point this out to you, because I know you have light skin.
Yes.
If you want to age well, you have to stay out of the sun or be a black person. That is the only thing you can do to save your skin.
Yes.
That's it.
I've done my best to stay out of the sun.
What is that picture?
That's a different picture. I don't know what that is.
How did that get there?
I don't know. But I sent over the beach picture.
Well, but how was that on the Bennington thing?
That was a retweet on our Bennington thing.
All right, that's great. By the way, it looks like Zito didn't stay out of the sun.
No, he didn't. He didn't take his own goddamn advice.
He looked way redder than you.
And again, look at Zito. He's 10 years older than Lenny Kravitz. And when I met Zito a few years ago, baby, an infant. Yeah. He weighed like 93 pounds. I'm not even making that up. Remember, he was like a skinny little kid.
I remember the first day he walked in. Like, what is this?
And I liked him because he was a go-getter. Chris fucking hated him. Chris doesn't become friends with people until after they leave. Chris and Shelby are going on a fucking bus tour tomorrow.
I'm his best man.
But I don't... See, this is what I'm saying about you, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't want you just to be comic relief.
I don't think
life.
I don't think I am. I mean, I'm a genuine person.
Yeah, be a real
You're
dude.
really not.
I am a real dude. I had a real good time. Jesus Christ.
All right, there's the picture of Chris taken from the hotel.
Oh, boy.
This is so disturbing.
It is a creepy, creepy picture.
And I don't... That's fucking Bluto right there.
Oh, God. It's so creepy. Like, it does seem like he came from the sea, not that he's going into the sea.
No, I did a really great Austin radio show, Dudley and Bob with Matt. They're all great, by the way. And I did an appearance with them. But I was hanging with them in the green room and then on stage in front of people. The way that they talk about Chris, like this strange, mysterious, exciting monster. You know what I mean? Like, there are compliments in it, but there's also how much of that is real.
Yeah.
And I go, we're not talented enough to do fiction. You know what I mean? I could just shine a flashlight on the beast and then it's up to you to write your own story. But I was thinking to myself, well, I don't know if that's the way you want to be known, Chris.
It was strange. It was both flattering, and I was like, "That's a weird way to put it." I'm just living my life. I don't know.
Yes, you live your life as a man without rules. You're not part of society, and yet you have a job as a radio show producer.
Yeah,
which seems like it would take a certain amount of skill set.
Most of my I'm very like all my behavior is antisocial, I would say. Or like I'm just like a fucking...
Yes,
I'm
and yet you have the job of, socially interacting.
But see, the antisocial stuff is after in off hours. When I'm here, I feel like I'm very social. I can greet people. I can talk to people. I can talk to guests.
The people from Moon Tower, which was an unbelievably great comedy festival. And I hate to be saying that when, we're heading up to Montreal soon, but it was just ran so well. And so great. And Colleen, like, first day, meets me in the lobby. She goes, "Are you happy with everything?" I go, "Yes, very much." And she's like, "Is Gail happy with everything?" I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "Now, where is this Chris at?" And she said it in a way that I did not have the balls to ask.
Why are you asking?
Why are you asking? But there was... confusion there and a sense of trepidation.
Yes.
Of, could he ruin my festival?
I met Colleen. I felt I was very charming.
Can I just say this?
I eventually met her.
When you're on the show Legions of Skanks.
Yes.
And you're the skankiest one of them all. You're the one that the local people are lighting torches and grabbing pitchforks. There's something wrong there.
That night was crazy because Jen and I went to go see some other shows. You guys went to go see the Skanks. And we're back at the hotel because there's a bar there. And our friends, different comedians we know start trickling in. And everyone's like, "Hey, have you seen Chris? Is everything... And it's like we were getting little bits of information. They're like, "Yeah, he really just went nuts." And we're like, "What happened? What just happened?" We start texting like, "What did Chris do?"
Insane. Fucking insane how he was acting. They came out and grabbed me on the street and they said I was out front smoking, and I hear they're billing Chris. And I go running in. I fucking fell out. I was so happy.
Sensitive.
All right, let's go through the trip because obviously I don't know all the details. I didn't fly down with you guys.
Right.
Because I don't fly in cargo planes, okay?
And you didn't fly cargo, you didn't fly coach. We had a very different experience than you.
Yes. I was getting a foot massage.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually,
Come on.
the very beginning, before the trip even started, and we did not even want to talk about it until the trip was over, was a near disaster.
What?
Well, I am supposed to meet Chris the next day at 7:30 a.m. to get our flight. And
What do you mean the next day?
Like, we met here the day before, and we had a conversation. Let's meet tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Get to the airport early.
Where were you guys going to meet?
Here at Sirius XM.
Okay.
And we were going to split a cab together, so we had each other's back. We'd get there together.
They had a lot of equipment and stuff to bring together.
I get here at 7:15, and I don't get any texts from Chris that say, hey, I'm close. 7:30 rolls around, there's no Chris here. 7:40 rolls around, I start to get nervous. Anytime somebody walks in, I'm like, oh shit, it's not Chris. By the time 8:10 rolls around, I realize Chris sent everybody an email at 3 a.m., and I'm like, oh fuck, he's asleep. I call Chris about 20 times.
Is this sleep another thing for drunk?
Yeah. I call him 22 times, and I get no answer. Finally, I'm downstairs in the cab we ordered with the cab driver, and I'm like, it's 8:30. And I'm like, it's been an hour. I guess we should just leave the guy here. I don't know what to do, because I don't have his landlord's number because he just wrote it down on a piece of paper.
What did you guys have, the sevens lined up or something?
Yeah, we had a cab meet us here.
And you made him wait all that time?
Yeah.
What's that cost?
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. This fucking guy.
So then, finally, as the cab is about to pull away, I get a call from Chris that says, just goes, oh, fuck.
I'm getting this information as I'm packing my bag and getting ready, waiting for my car, and I'm sitting there sipping my coffee, and I'm just like, I'm just not going to freak out. I'm just not going to freak out. If he misses this flight, the show will go on. Whatever the fuck is going to happen, I'm just not going to be upset. So, I call him a bunch of times. I text him a bunch of times. Most of them pleading texts, like, please just wake up, Chris. I know you're asleep. Please just do me a favor and wake up. Please just wake up.
This is not a nice travel day for others. By the way, Chris,
I released this.
You're supposed to be the executive producer checking up on other people.
I understand that. My initial plan was to just stay up.
Dude, guess what? That's why I didn't fly with you. Because I am not leaving for the airport at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning and all that shit that you do. He tried to do that to me in Canada. I go, this can't fucking happen.
I know. And we did it.
You did it, yes.
On the way back, we were there, and that was a whole other disaster.
By the way, while you guys were staying up all night, I slept late, went out and had the best brunch of the entire fucking trip.
That's the worst. I begged. I said, please don't make. Chris was going, no, this is the best thing. Then you get home on time. Never again. Never again am I going to be on an early flight. And I'm serious this time. You're not doing it to me again.
Okay. Look, the gist of it is, we made it. We made it on time.
Fucking gist, dude. Because guess what?
Yes.
You got to fucking have a stress-free life. That's the problem.
Okay.
You can't. Look, we're doing Comedy 101. We're at fucking Antone's, which is unbelievable to be playing this club.
Such a cool
We're
club.
in the green room, and there's pictures of fucking James Brown there, and you name any band. Any fucking cool band in history, and they played this place. And we're doing this with the Bonfire Skanks as our judges. So I'm like thinking to myself, I hope everybody's getting this and how cool this is. Chris had one job to do. That was to give me time cues. We said for a long time, we count down in this business. We don't count up. I don't care how long I've been here. I want to know, am I keeping the show on schedule? You know what I mean? Count me down, because we have this segment, because not only are we doing this for air, but there's another show that comes after us. We're in a comedy festival. Chris is giving me the wrong counts. And then I look over and I'm trying to get his eye, and he's pacing back and forth like the fucking polar bear in the Philadelphia Zoo. No. Finally, I go like this, Chris, you're Alice fucking time guy. I'm trying not to step on the judges who were actually working my show for me, and they were amazing. I'm like, you're Alice time, get another fucking time guy.
But you know,
you got fired as time guy.
Yeah.
A guy who merely had to look at a watch.
The thing is, it's like that level of stress and tension, which you would go, that's a big level because it's like during a live show, is no different than Chris Stanley waiting for bags at the baggage claim. There was a point that it was like me, Vito, and Chris standing waiting for our bags. I go, Jen, just turn around and look at Chris. She goes, what? I go, just turn around and look at Chris.
What was I doing?
And he was literally, and I'm not exaggerating, going like this. In a giant crowd of people where everyone else were adults and standing still. He was not even like crab walking, pacing.
By the way,
like what is... And I know he didn't have to pee because he had just peed, but it was almost like a pee-pee dance.
Because first of all, the best thing that you could have is to lose that 1977 bag of yours. Look how uncomfortable that looks. So, up on the iBang, what is the title of this?
This is the Bennington Family Moon Tower 2017 Austin, Texas photo diary.
Now, by the way, the first one I love, it's Gail in front of the beautiful Paramount Theater. You had found your name there and pointed at it. As you put, your name is up in paper. And but it is a very cool thing.
It's the coolest.
Yeah. And then the second one is these two idiots. How long were you two, at the airport?
We were probably there for a good half hour, 45 minutes. Luckily, we had over-prepared.
Yeah.
But the reason we over-prepared is because we were going to sit down, have a nice breakfast, chill, make sure everything was there. So we did have a lot of leeway with them that they were able to make the flight. But we were there, and they were supposed to be before us. Yeah. They were going to get there like 15, 20 minutes before us.
So they could load in all this stuff.
Yes, because they had more luggage than we did.
Now, by the way, we left from the beautiful Newark airport this time. A million times prettier than the New York City airports. A million times better places to eat.
Very chill, too.
Yes. Not that same crazy level.
Yeah.
Move your fucking car. Fucking blast you right here. Relax. Everybody in New York feels like
customer.
Chris. Yeah. You know what I don't like, though, in that Newark thing is, like, I went and got food magazines, and you have to check yourself out. I'm fucking running an iPad, and then I'm just like this. Do I just leave now, or am I accused of stealing? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the fact that I haven't met a person who said the transaction's done. You can legally take these things. I don't know how they're going to know whether I have an apple in my pocket or not. Sorry, so there's the two of you. Now, both of you are in pajama clothing, right?
Yes.
It's a 3-hour and 18-minute flight. Why do you guys act like you're going to Singapore and you have to dress for sleep?
Yeah.
You're here now wearing fucking jeans that will last you throughout the show. It's 3 hours. Dress like an adult.
Yes.
The thing is, all right, in the airplane seats, it's constricting for the crotch, and I feel like the basketball shorts make it breathe a little more.
You've bought into this thing of dress comfort. Vito was wearing fucking shower sandals.
Yes.
That's because I didn't want to. You have to take your shoes off when you check through security, and I didn't want to go through all the hassle of actually untying my shoes.
It is true. There's a loafer, or you pre-check in, and then you don't have to do that. I pre-checked in, kept my fucking belt, my shoes, got in the shorter line, didn't take off my medal, nothing went off. It was like walking into a mall.
Get on that list.
Huh?
Got to get on that list then.
Yes, you've got to fucking figure out how to travel, young man. You don't want to be dressed like that, like a toddler.
No.
You look like you're going to grandma's house for the weekend. All right, let me see the next picture. So this is you guys all pumped up and ready to fly?
Yes, this is waiting for our flight. Chris is weird.
Yeah, he tries to wear it on every picture. All right, the next one.
This is Vito, who assured me, I'm kind of a nervous flyer, so I was like, I don't care where anyone sits as long as I'm not sitting alone. I need a little buddy system. Vito's like, I'm your man. I'll be up the whole time. If you need anything, we'll chat, we'll play a game, whatever. That is so early in the flight that he just is passed out on me.
So you didn't have a nervous flight though, right? It's a nice, beautiful flight.
Yeah, it was a good flight. I'm always like a little anxious in takeoff, and then I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably not unlike a lot of people. I just, I always like the feeling of picking up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Plus, the real views, I think, from a flight are low. You know what I mean? When you get up high and you look down.
You're like, what is that? Fucking marble?
But I like it when you're like, I still see people there. Look how fucking stupid they look.
I like when we get past that point where they're just like fucking around. They're going like really, making those big turns.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, they're doing this shit on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, let's take off on a runway that just is like a straight shot. Yeah. Like, I don't want to make those fucking U-turns. I do not like that shit.
Yeah. I was on a flight one time and we came up. It was going to be a short flight, so there's always weirder then, you know? So they came up and they banked really hard, and Fez yelled out, "Are we upside down?" So the thing that's always funny about that is, like, you find out that a lot of people, Fez thinks that everybody else is fine, right? But a lot of people are like you, like, they're a little nervous inside, but I'm reading this magazine, everything's good.
Yeah.
So when they hear a motherfucker yell out, "Are we upside down?" they immediately think that they are. Yes. So I said, you start to, "I think we are." And it's like, no. Does everyone stop it? This fucking guy doesn't want to die. On my flight home, it was a night flight, right?
Yeah.
And we flew, I don't know why they do this with planes, maybe somebody knows why, but you kind of fly over to all the big cities, I think, because they want to be always close to an airport in case they ever need it. So we're going over Cleveland, and Cleveland's all lit up, and then, you see the blackness of the Great Lake. And then I see a shine, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And they have the map where you could see where you are. I'm like, that's fucking Detroit. I was looking at Cleveland lights and Detroit at the same time.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And that isn't a short drive because you got to go around that Great Lake there. But you could see them both from the air. Another reason, why are you fucking sleeping when you could be looking at Detroit and Cleveland at the same time? Again, this is a 3-hour fucking trip. You're not flying to Rome. I say, I'm going to Rome. I'm going to take a pill and go to sleep. I get those kind of people. 3 hours. Why are you fucking passed out? Oh, I know. Because Chris is forcing you to fly first thing in the morning.
Exactly.
All right, let me see the next one.
So this
fucking Tweedledum and Tweedledummer.
No, this is them still in their flight clothes because they found out that there was a mix-up with their booking and they weren't had their hotel ready until the next day. So now this great plan of having comfy clothes has them stuck for most of the day in these crazy airplane clothes. And this cost Vito a very nice trip. Because a friend of mine works at the Chive, and immediately after I'm going to go visit him, go to the Chive, and Vito's like, "Can I come with you?" And I'm like, "Look at the way you're dressed. I'm not bringing you." I was standing out in front when you guys came up, and I heard him ask, you say yes to everything for Vito, right? Everything. 100% of the time.
And when you said no, I'd be embarrassed to take you to the Chive. I'm thinking the Chive, they all must look like Vito. You know what I mean? Like, Vito's the exact demo for the Chive.
Look at the socks.
He's pulled his baseball pants up to his knees.
It was so hot.
So hot.
How was I going to bring him?
By the way, this So Hot was 85 degrees.
It was
not 100
beautiful
degrees.
weather.
It was fucking fantastic.
It was so nice. Yeah.
I sweat through every shirt was soaking wet.
But it is now.
But it was even more so. It was even worse.
All right, let's see the next picture. You can follow along if you like to. So this is where you guys ended up, right?
Eventually we get into a La Quinta Inn on the outskirts of Austin.
La Quinta. How do you not know the names of things?
Quinta.
Now, also, this is the weird thing. So he goes, Chris says to me, and I'm saying, no, first of all, I have got this beautiful fucking suite. Nothing's funnier than knowing that your friends don't have a place to stay. And I mean, that is like the very definition of success.
Fuck.
There was 2 hot tubs in my fucking suite.
Come on.
Now, the thing is, those fucking 2 guys were so pissed. And Chris says to me, I just went over and dropped my stuff off with my friend. And then I came back. I go, your friend? I go, I've known you for fucking 9 years. You don't have any friends in fucking New York. He's got that one guy named Chris who he refuses to invite on the show, even though those guys always want to get plugged. You have an actual friend.
Yes.
In Austin.
It's Chris, and then there's Ian in Austin.
And that's your 2 best friends.
Oh, those are the 2 guys, yeah. Known both since high school. Ian just moved to Austin like a year ago. And
do you realize that it's nothing funnier than hearing that you have a friend in the one city that we're in?
That's so weird.
It was very exciting. I was like, oh, I'm going to see Ian. This is great.
Because you asked me, like, where's Chris? I'm like, apparently with a friend. He's with a friend. And you're like, friend? We were so weirded out by this.
And so it's the first time I see him in a while, and I'm just wandering into his apartment, meet his girlfriend for the first time. I'm with Vito, and I'm just dumping all of this equipment and fucking bags into his middle of his apartment.
Where, by the way, what street does your friend live on?
He lives on Rainy Street.
That's where I was the next day, and I had that brunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that fucking street is cool as shit.
It's awesome. It's the coolest part of town.
Is he right across from that restaurant that looks like it's made out of like freight cars or something?
Yeah, he's in one. There's like 2 like tall buildings. I think that's the one he's across from. Yeah. Like on that street.
Because I see this, because it's just these like little houses that are turned into restaurants. On Sundays, there was live music playing everywhere, and everybody was fucking food. Like, the thing was, he's like, if I pick this restaurant, then I won't be able to eat at that restaurant.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was pissing me off a little bit. Like, I was going to, no matter what I did, there was some meal that was going to be great that I'm missing. But then I see this apartment, I go, oh, fuck, that must be where the friend lives. Now, why didn't you? He came to Comedy 101, right?
Yes, he did.
Why didn't you introduce me?
I didn't get a chance. I wanted to. I had every intention to, but I didn't.
I am dying to know more about you, you mysterious weirdo.
I had every intention to, but I think he had to leave because he had like work in the morning. But yeah, that's Ian. That's my buddy. He helped me out in a pinch. Me and Vito.
Can you imagine how weirded out that is? Why is this thing just pictures of these 2 guys? Here they are in their wrestling gear.
That's the room from No Country for Old Men, by the way.
Who got you that room?
It was Don Wicklund got us that room.
Now, who was responsible for you not having a room?
Don Wicklund.
All right, so now you know to check out, a phone call.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
But I think now you're square.
Yeah.
I mean, since he got you
Seriously.
Quinta.
This looks like 2 fucking murdering brothers from Fargo. Why do you both wear the same weird 1930s fucking bathing suit top?
Because Vito's ripping me off. Because I had it first.
It looked like you had a gray one there in the Bahamas.
Yeah, I did have yes, I own, gray and black.
Oh, that was, you were wearing a shirt? I wasn't sure. I thought that was your skin.
Gray zombie skin.
By the way, did you see this picture that Joe, Go Pack Joe, has that great Texas
Oh, man, that's
shirt?
awesome.
Yeah. They both, him and his fiance, got all dressed up in Texas gear, and I'm like, all right, all kidding aside, that's a pretty fucking cool shirt. Where'd you get that shirt at, dude? All right, what's the next one? All right, that's where?
That's at the Cap City Comedy.
That's Cap City Comedy with Dudley and Bob and Matt. That was such a fantastic night.
Let
really,
me tell
really
you, that
fun.
night was so much fun, and I'll get to that at some point this week. But those guys who've been in Austin, the 25 plus years they've been doing terrestrial, which is almost impossible to pull off. But you can see why, man. They're really, really funny. And what I try to say to you, Chris, fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fun. You have to have fun, and then funny can work after that. It can't be tension. It can't be alcoholic fucking hallucinations. Matt Bearden is really fucking fast too.
Yeah, he's very, very funny.
But you know, they're all great. I mean, it's really great. And that Carissa, I could have put her in my pocket and taken her home.
I know, she was so great. And like
Daniel was hysterical when he came up, and how the audience was so happy that I was on Daniel's side, even though it was mysterious to me. And I do believe one hamburger patty, it doesn't make sense to have two. That's a whole nother sandwich.
But I'm very intrigued by Carissa's jewelry that she makes. She makes this like very interesting jewelry. Like she takes, I think she's bugs and different things, and then like.
Here's what was weird. So I thought she was wearing a crystal, like a hippie witch. And as you know, I know quite a few hippie witches. Mm-hmm. And she's like, no, these are, bug parts. There weren't even like a bug in that thing. She makes it. And then their listeners bring them bugs. By the way, I believe that this is up online. The appearance I did with them, which was as much fun as I could possibly have. I mean, seriously, there's a thing about, there's certain people that when you get together with them, it's like being jazz musicians, where a jazz musician will kind of know when to take the solo and know when to stand back. And that's how it felt, everybody on the stage. It was just really, really fun.
And what a great audience they had. It was just like such a great,
well, their
fun
audience
crowd.
loves them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Their audience loves them, which is, a really, cool thing to be able to pull off. But, to be able to entertain like that when there was literally nothing planned, nothing. You just go up there and you see what happens. Really, really fun. Really great. And I don't know whether this was just discussed for fun, but we were talking about doing a producer swap out.
Yes, that was discussed. Could we do maybe a bit of an internship swap? Take Chris Stanley heads over there. We take Carissa. We take Daniel.
And
Could
that's
be great.
it, by the way. That's it. And then we only send Chris. That's all they want.
It's so hot there.
Well, I want to do a July 4th swap.
Perfect. You don't have any plans for that? That'll be great.
But that was just a great, great night.
Yeah.
And let me figure out, I think it's up on the iBang how you can listen to that, but we'll announce that a little later on, because really I'm just home myself and I haven't kept up. What's this?
And there's a link to it in the post, in the photo diary post.
Oh, to that audio?
Yeah.
Great. That's all I was looking for. All right, let's see the next one. All right, this is insane.
This is us with Half Astronaut, and as we call her, Better Half Astronaut, in their crazy Good Times van, shaggin' wagon.
Dude, they were so much fun.
We had so much fun with them. Like,
They're
honestly.
the best. And that van is the shit.
It is really cool. Although, so they drove us back to the hotel, and Chris Stanley was like, you know how like a dog like can't figure out how to just like stay balanced in a car? Like there was a point I looked over at me and Jen and Vito were all sitting up, and Chris was just like fully horizontal, and I tried to take a picture, but it was so dark, and I just kept on going, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, man, what? And I'm like, cause you just like, it seems like you're not able to stay up while the car is in motion.
I was having trouble.
So they do that because they drive around Texas and they
and they have a cool life, and they have cool van, and they're the best, man. We had so much fun with them.
Yeah, they're great, man. Well, that's who took care of you before.
Oh yeah, when I went to South by Southwest like 5 years ago, when I met Half Astronaut and Better Half Astronaut. Candace.
Now, the thing about Candace, when I saw her, I'm like, I know her from movies or TV. Somebody was bringing her up to me. I'm like, I know her from movies or TV. And then I figured out Oh no, I know her from Chris's pics.
Yeah.
His pictures. But
And
she does have like a funky movie star vibe.
She really does, and she has the best style. Like we got
great style.
Yeah, we got great tips on places to go because of Candace. Different vintage shops and boutiques.
Yeah, but that made the
out.
skanks turn on you. They did not understand. You know, with their 1990s metal look.
Yeah, I don't think the rap rockers should be like giving me fashion tips.
Dude, you should have fucking said that. They really are
They were
rap
our
rockers.
But yeah, that was at Cap City where we met them. We met a ton of great people. Shane, who was so cool, and by the way, you got your pecan Texas peanut brittle too from Shane.
Really, that's great, man. Yeah, I've been actually thinking about that because you guys said you had it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we met so many just fun, cool people.
Yeah, it's just like the whole vibe there is great. Like everybody is just so cool, but it's chill, but it's fun and it's funky and
yeah, you know, a lot of times when you think things are chill, it means that a lot isn't going on, right? But this was like you were just going from one great club to another one.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
And everybody was saying, you know, it used to be better. I'm like, yeah, I know. I say that to people when they come to New York. Everything used to be better.
But I'm here now, right? And this is great.
I'm here for the death rattle, so that's something. I keep going because this is fun with the photo. Look at you two, look so cute together.
This is it's just really a foxy picture of Jen. but this is in the back of the van.
Jen, when she got in, she was like, says to me, not a lot of black people here. And I'm like,
immediately.
I said, dude, I noticed that from the airport. And then I thought to myself, I even noticed that on the plane. Because I flew down with a bunch of Texans. And there wasn't a lot of black people.
No.
Their black people are Mexicans.
Exactly.
Oh, that was fun. We were all together there.
Yeah, that's the next morning. We hit South Congress Street. We had like this awesome brunch. We hit all these different shops. So that's our family band pick on South Congress.
Why is Chris trying to look dreamy? He's just leaning
He's
back.
a real dreamboat. I'm worried about him though.
There's Black Bart, Vito, and by the way, that hat that's on his head was huge. And look how small it looks. First of all, do you remember the name of that store, Vito?
No.
They're selling boots, they're selling hats, they're selling belts. This store smelled so good. That leathery smell is fantastic. I was just going around putting my face in boots.
It's a great smell.
Yeah, maybe no wonder Tarantino has a foot fetish.
It's those leather notes that he's picking up on.
It was called Allen's Boots.
Thank you, Vito. Did you just look it up?
Yeah, I remember the name Allen.
But he was going around, like, you see that little straw hat that's like almost like a top hat, like a gambler would wear?
Yeah.
We're all like, oh, this looks so cool. Maybe this will look great on me. No, not one person did it look great on. Yet it looks fucking fantastic sitting there. But as soon as you put it on, you look like, all right, I look like Abraham Lincoln if he let himself go.
To cosplay?
Yeah, you have to be tall and thin to pull off something like that, you know?
I'm just surprised that Vito went black hat. He's such a white hat in his heart.
I don't know. He wears the black shirt. He wears the black undershirt.
They're just black, just a nicer color for a hat, too.
Well, all right. You didn't buy it, though, huh?
No, I took a picture of it. I texted my mom, and I was like, this is a pretty cool hat. I think I'm going to go $90 for it. And she goes, you have an Indiana Jones hat that's been sitting in our home for 10 years that you've never worn once.
I love your mom for saying that.
She goes, this is your money this time. Do you really want to spend it?
Why don't you wear your Indiana Jones hat tomorrow, okay?
Please.
Come on.
Okay.
Da, 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 da. All right, the next picture, you guys shopping it up.
Yeah, that was Candace's suggestion that we go to Feathers, and we did some fucking damage. We were like, this is bad news, man.
Well, we were saying, you guys go in, we'll wait outside for you. About 25 minutes later, we just start walking down the street. We're like, we can't just keep standing here. Oh, there's Vito eating the Tito's ice cream.
Yes, that's at Amy's Ice Cream. They did a little collab thing with Tito's, and this is their, it's called The Dude, and it's kind of like a White Russian, like an ice cream White Russian.
It was awesome. It was really good. Got a little daytime buzz. It was nice.
Quite boozy. So that's that night at Comedy 101.
Great fun time.
It was so much fun. And Antone's is such a cool club, and all the comics were so much fun. We met so many great people there.
We had a transgender, is that the correct name?
Yes.
Comic who killed. And then, Big J, Dan Soder, Louis J. Gomez. They were so fucking great during that.
It was so much fun.
Jay got into a rap that went on for so long with, you said you were on the Tonight Show. So fucking funny. So funny. Soder was, he's Dan Soder. What are you going to say? These guys are just great. And they're so, I don't know how many years ago we met all those guys. Like, they're 10 times faster now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's game has upped. Crazy. All right, next picture.
This is the next day, just after the Gail Meets Girls interview with Morgan Murphy, which was, again, so much fun. She's like the coolest chick ever. And
that's up online now, too.
Yeah, that's on at the Interrobang if you want to check it out. So this is just after we recorded, me and Jen. We came downstairs. We bumped into you. We bumped into Colin Quinn out there, which was like
hilarious.
Maybe one of my favorite moments where I was like stepping back and just watching like you, Colin Quinn, and Morgan Murphy just killing me, and I was like, wow, this is kind of weird.
Well,
like this is what like make comedy festivals so fun.
That is the best thing about it.
Yeah.
That's literally the best thing. That I come in on my room and I'm walking down the hall and I hear Ron Bennington. I turn around, it's Andy Kindler. He's like, I know that I recognize you from behind. How great is that? And then we get on the elevator and different people from the festival got on and he's pulling his shirt out and he goes, an adult male really has to keep an eye out on his nipples. I just got to keep it. I can see that there's other people in the elevator that are like, what is going on here? How weird has this gotten? It's the funnest thing. It's like being in a fucking movie or a cartoon or something.
I love Andy so much too. He's so funny, and I got to bump into him as well. Like, he's just so fantastic.
He loves you, man. He was bringing you up to me, and it's just we know. But Morgan Murphy and Colin Quinn, they're both big boxing fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they both. I know Morgan had, but they would both just suddenly go into boxing poses.
Yeah.
And Morgan was like really leaning her leg back and saying, you got to throw it from the hip. And I'm like, I got the feeling she could really throw a fucking punch.
Yeah.
I was like, if these two go at it, I don't want to be caught with a fucking errant right hook. Like, you ever see one of those refs that just gets knocked out because he's standing in the wrong spot? Although that would be a great way to get knocked out.
So this is the comedy barbecue at Cooper's. Big J and Christine had organized everybody to get together and get lunch together in the day, and it was really a blast and so much fun. Everybody's walking around. You see Sal's there. The Sklar brothers were there. Dave Smith, Louis J. Gomez, Jen and Chris and Vito. We're all hanging out. And
all the Comedy Jam guys were there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Jermaine Fowler was there.
Yeah, Jermaine Fowler is on top of the world right now. Was saying that it was a really great way to throw a lunch because you go up, everybody pays for their own lunch, and then you all take it out to the same picnic tables, and it was hilarious and fun time. It's like you'll see people just be like just having food and they're just talking, but then all of a sudden someone amps it up and you're like, oh yeah, that's a fucking huge comedian. Of course, he can just turn it on anytime he wants, and that made it so good. And was that was the day of the Unmasked, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, I kind of want to just say hi to Sal, and we're gonna have fun, but not talk about anything that's going to come up later. in the Unmasked. He had just flown in then to, I believe, from Hawaii. So these guys, everybody is just fucking moving all the time.
I don't know how they do it.
That's your pork chop.
That is the big chop, which, you know, it was like one of those things I had it in my mind. I was like, normally my go-to at a barbecue place is to do pulled pork. Yeah. So I had pork, like, in my mind, like, that's what I was going to do. And they didn't do a pulled pork. So I was like, I'll do a chop. Had no idea that a chop was going to be like twice the size of my head.
It was a Flintstones chop.
It was so insane. There's the fam. Jen, Vito, Chris, Ron Bennington.
Was this the same place?
Yeah, this is the same day.
Like you can see, Chris is already lit. There's no reason, Chris, for this to be a 24-hour party.
Honestly, like, this was the craziest thing. So it was like, right after that, he's already glaring at me because he knows what I'm going to say. So he's just like, I gotta get back to the hotel before the Unmasked. And we're like, well, we're all gonna be leaving soon. He's like, I gotta go right now. And he's like really serious about it. He's like, I'm calling a car. And Vito's like, hotel's like 3 blocks away, dude.
No,
like, just
it was
walk.
on our block.
He's like, just walk. He's like, I'm not walking. He like walks away, and he's just like,
There's no way that you could take a cab that short of space.
Yeah, he tried. But I was just like, he's got shit. Like, that's what's going on. Like, he was being, like, really weird about it, and I knew that he had to. So immediately that gets us, like, in a conversation. Now, here's something. Yeah. Jen and I share a hotel room. We get 2 beds, and we're roommates for the Austin trip, and we had a blast. We had a great time. Everything's going great. So then I make fun of Chris. I'm like, he has a shit. I know that's what's gonna happen. So Vito's like, yeah, I think, I don't know, like, he's been going a lot since he's been here. I don't know. It's like, it's the heat or what? And then Jen goes, really? That's interesting. We only shit once today. I'm Jen! We're roommates. You don't say when I shit. I don't know you're keeping tabs. Like, we did it together. Like, we were sitting hand in hand.
Okay, let's get that in the record book. That was, what approximate time?
I was like, Jen, how are you going to do me like that?
And, yeah, before you flush, let Jen go in and check it. Jen, just poke it with a stick. Get the texture down.
It's so fucked up.
What are this? They're slapping.
So this was Louis J. Gomez and Dave Smith doing a little sparring. Like, Dave Smith was like holding, I don't know, what do you like, holding bags, but there's no bags. I don't know what you do for like shadow boxing. Yeah, you like, yeah. So they were doing that, and I'll be honest, Morgan Murphy has him beat on form.
Yeah. Louis studies, but he's all over the place. Dave Smith was so drunk at the 101, Comedy 101, and it was our anniversary of doing the Bennington show, 2 years, which we're at fucking Anton's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing the show, just matter-of-factly, and, you know, believe me, that gets to me. So I go in the back, and I'm going to hang out for Comedy Jam, and Dave Smith comes up, and it's his birthday, 420, and he tells me it's his birthday, and it's Hitler's birthday. He is so drunk. And then he tells me how much he loves and respects me.
What?
And it goes on and on. Apparently I'm the best that's ever lived. So I see him the next day at this, and I'm like, Dan, you can be a wise ass as much as you want. I know the truth. You told me last night how much. He goes, I'm blacked out drunk. I go, then why are you nervous?
Yeah.
If you don't know what you said. And he goes, maybe I'll get drunk tonight and attack you. I go, but I'll know the truth. You told me. You never have to say it again. I know what's deep in your soul now.
Dave Smith, we know you all.
The respect and the care that you have for me. I know you act like you're a bad person and you run around and say awful things, but I know what you said to me. All right, move along. Look at that crowd.
Yeah, this is the crowd waiting outside of the Velveeta room, just getting ready for Unmasked with Sal Vulcano, which was so much fun. Yeah, that was a great, and also, you know, the Velveeta room is fucking great too.
I know, it's amazing.
What a great room that was.
And right out front is Rich, our buddy Rich.
Oh, yeah. Well, we became friends with him in New York City.
Yeah.
I forget. He takes comedy vacations like Sarah does. But he's also the guy that gave me the name of that place that I ate at without you guys, the brunch.
Really?
And I mean, it was like unbelievable. And it was like high-end unbelievable. Jen would have loved it. I actually thought to myself, I wish I had Jen here. I know. I didn't even think about the rest of you because you're such fucking ham and eggers.
I know, she has fancy taste.
But if I see like a champagne flute, I'm like, oh, I wish Jen was here.
She would love this.
Oh, that's the room. That's
Sal, during the Unmasked, the Velveeta room, which is just like such a cool room. And I love the way they do the stage. It's so pretty.
This is the Eddie Pepitone one, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, that's Sal. That's definitely Sal, yeah.
Okay. Because I can't see because it's all the way in the back. This is the room that Chris was booed so poorly by people.
Not like me.
Oh, shit. I forgot we did this. Who was all there for the Bat Bridge?
That was me and you, Chris and Vito were there.
Oh, yeah. Now, here's what happened. We met up with these guys, and we're like, you're going to miss the Bat Bridge. But tell the story that Colin Quinn was saying about the Bat Bridge.
Yeah. So Colin Quinn had the same experience. Someone had suggested to him.
I think it was the guys We Fuck Girls.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So they had suggested to him to go check out the Bat Bridge. He gets there. There's no fucking bats. And we're like, well, first of all, we had high hopes because when we were coming in, everybody was saying, and you got to see the bats.
Well, here's the thing. The bats are there, but it's dark and they don't all come. I was waiting to see a swarm of bats.
That's what I thought was going to happen too.
But yes, it was instead, it was just like trickling out. And then it was dark by that point. So I was like, I think I can make out some shadows of some things. We just thought like the sky was going to fill with bats and we were going to be like...
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, me too. I literally wanted to scream.
Yes!
I wanted to be like, oh my God, this is... I wanted to put my hands over my hair. You know what I mean? And I wanted to say to people, you won't believe what I was just involved in. 1 million bats flew right over my head. But then Colin said, I guess I'm, they sent me, the guys We Fuck Girls, they sent me out to this thing like a tourist. And I don't see any bad. Put me down as the last guy that they fucked. It's really funny. And I think he was probably there the same night as us, but there was like you could have filled a football stadium with a number of people.
I couldn't believe
there were so many people out there. It was so insane. Yeah. And then like the anticipation, like everyone was like, was that a bat? Like everyone was so excited. And then it like, honestly, the closest thing you could compare to it is like Rachel Maddow giving like Trump's taxes. Like we're like, is that something? Oh boy, this was a lot of hype.
This is like Rachel Maddow giving out the Trump taxes. It turned out to be nothing. But it reminded me when I got there of the sunset party in Key West.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was a beautiful night, and it was like hot and like this is the photo I did, like a panoramic. Which, by the way, if you look, the center person is like the victim of my panoramic photo, and it's just like a weird giant man head that's pasted on a kid body.
Is that right here?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even found that.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
All right, so that night, you guys went to see Ali Wong at the Paramount.
Yes, this is
great theater.
We did a boys' night, girls' night. The boys went to go see the Skanks, and
we did work.
Yes,
we were in their show, but that's nice that you treat it like we were on vacation.
Yeah, we got to see Ali Wong, her new hour at the Paramount, and honestly, it's fucking insane. Like, it's so good. It's absolutely like an extension of Baby Cobra. It's like the next chapter of it. But it would be hard to think that somebody could follow that special. But her new material is so fantastic. And we had a crazy time. Like, sitting in, like, the opera box, like, looking over. And
that's great.
The theater is just fantastically beautiful. And Allie was so funny, and she looked great. Yeah. Like, she was, like, so stylish.
Well, here's the thing about Allie. You know, like, I didn't know who she was until I saw that special on Netflix, and my jaw dropped. But I was talking to Soder. Soder's known her for like 8 years, like they came in together. And he said that she used to do this Sunday night show with Giannis Papas like all the time. Like he really watched her grow into this thing. And what was funny is when I was going to my show, you think of as just a party night, but performing. And I'm walking away from the Paramount. You guys are heading towards the Paramount. And I just see 4 Asian girls. Asian girls came from... I didn't see any Asian girls at all.
Yeah.
Until tonight.
Allie opened with... It's so great that I was able to get every Asian in Austin, and thanks so much for bringing all your white boyfriends.
That's hilarious. She's right. Now that I'm thinking about it, there were Asian single girls, and then that kind of white Asian couple.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember when I was younger, if you would see an Asian girl with a black guy, it was always Vietnamese. It was always Vietnamese.
Yeah. But yeah, we tried it took us so long to get this selfie to get the Paramount sign in the photo with us, and it was taking forever to do it. And then we were like, oh yeah, let's go on the balcony and have drinks at the hotel, and realized that we were like on par with the fucking Paramount sign. We could have just walked up there. Yeah. And that was such a great night too, because we saw Michelle Wolf was there, Andy Kindler was there.
People go and hang out at that bar.
Yeah, Morgan Murphy. Barry Crimmins. We got to hang out with that night. We also
at a bar? Unusual.
We also hung out with Jamie and Rachel, who we met in Austin, who are just the sweetest couple, and honestly, they're buddies with us now. They were so much fun.
They're
we saw them
great.
We saw them pretty much. I think we saw them every night, and we got to hang out with them. And honestly,
you know what they said to me? This is the best weekend of our marriage.
That is so cute.
I thought it was sad. But yeah, they were adorable.
Yeah, but they're so much fun. And honestly, it's crazy. Like, we walk away with like so many new friends. Like, it's not just that we met people there, but like it was just like a really fun experience. Everyone is just like.
So nice.
Yeah, they're so nice and sweet. And Victoria, who we met outside of Comedy 101, was so sweet. And, Victoria, call us sometime or send us an email, because I know you don't do Twitter.
Sarah, the writer, was there, who we haven't seen in a while. I think she's going to Montreal, too. She was giving me the thing that said the best comedy is when they have a scene, like they did there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where people can hang out. I saw Nicole and from New York City. She was great. She was all over town. And Wes and his whole family were fantastic and cool and great. And they gave me so many restaurant tips that I used. Like, they got that town wired.
Yeah, I love, like, how passionate Austin people are about their bars and their restaurants. They're like, oh, do you already have all your restaurants picked out? Because if not, I have a few suggestions.
No, I met Wes and his family up in New York, too. And, I mean, it's just so crazy how you can make great buddies doing this stuff.
Also, I met Delco Trash, or Pete, and who I've been emailing with for years about gambling, just football and basketball gambling.
He was there?
He was there, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. I hung out with him at the rap party eventually, too. Yeah, it was fantastic to meet everyone.
I don't know, you were so quiet and hammering fucking what you were calling True Detectives. He calls Lone Stars True Detectives.
It's a great thing to call a Lone Star.
Yeah, you were. Like, me and Jen were, like, out on the dance floor. We were, like, having a blast, and we just kept looking over and seeing,
yeah, all the different people.
Yeah, just, like, but we looked over, and Chris was just, like, slamming drinks. We're just like, Chris, come dance with us. Where are you?
I was dehydrated.
Like, I'm enjoying myself.
That's not going to help you.
It's going to make it worse.
Hey, we got to do breaks here, buddies. We've been on, but we'll pick this up when we get back. Back in the New York groove. It's the Bennington Show. You just knocked this out, too, Chris, when you hit it.
I'll fix it.
And I want to get into the amount of people who said the same line to me. The line, I'm worried about Chris. And I thought I was out of all that stuff in my life. I don't know what we're supposed to do about it, but I'll pick it up when we get back. Bennington.
Welcome back to Bennington. Earlier today, we announced Maria Bamford Unmasked. That's happening this Friday, May 5th at 11 a.m. at the SiriusXM studios. Go to theinterrobang.com for a chance at free tickets. Her new special, Old Baby, comes out tomorrow on Netflix.
I'm really looking forward to the special, and I cannot wait for this Unmasked. It's one that have I not been talking about for a long time, as a dream unmasked. I'm a big Maria Bamford fan, so that's this Friday, May 5th, 11 a.m. Here at the SiriusXM studios. So just go to theinterrobang.com for your chance at free tickets.
And she's done a lot of work on Netflix now because she did Lady Dynamite last year, which I loved. And
yeah, that was a great show. It was a really, really great show, and it was really cool to see her get that attention for that show because she's fantastic.
Well, there's going to be another season of that. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah. There'll be a second season Lady Dynamite.
Wow. Maria Bamford. Make sure you go over to the iBang to get into this. Here's something I want to mention, too. Our buddy Beth from Tito's came out, and that was a blast.
Yeah, it was so great. It was so great to see Beth and Nicole from Tito's came out as well. It was so great. And Beth's husband, Sean, who's just a really cool dude. I had a chance to talk with him, and he's awesome.
Dude, I got to get him to come to New York, and I talked to him about it because we got into this long rap about, music scenes. And he, I think, started as a drummer, but he sings, and he's unbelievable, man. So, I mean, the thing is, I want you to send this out after the show today. When they get to New York, bring the guitar, because you guys are going to be blown away. He's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, amazing. Really, really great. So, anyway, that was a lot of fun. You know what I did last week, too? I told you guys I was just driving around the Carolinas, spent a little time in Nashville. And because I love, when I go somewhere and can just take the car out, I always get a Sirius XM car, too. I don't know how people live without it, man. I heard so many great shows.
Yeah.
There was this show, it was Willie's album, right? And they did it over on Willie's show. And they're in Nashville. And they're playing clips of the album, and there's an audience there, and they're talking to him and his producer. And I'm like, this is great. I mean, just to have that thing. Dave Marsh did a show, I think he was in Austin, with Ruthie Forrester. And it was so amazing. She's singing live. They're playing songs off. And then the two of them are just sitting, talking gospel. And
that's
soul.
awesome.
And it was like an hour that was phenomenal. Peter Wolf did a takeover on the Petty channel, right? So I'm already enjoying Petty as a DJ. You would have loved this too. I think it's his last of the season because he's out Petty. So he is playing stuff from Brian Wilson, and then he goes, the Beach Boys, of course, Pet Sounds. But then he's going, now I'm just going to play it without the vocals. Just listen to this music. And when you hear a musician talking about somebody else, like,
oh man,
it was
awesome.
like chills. It was so great. And then Peter Wolf came on, and he's playing records and talking about music.
What kind of stuff was he playing?
All kind, him. He's blues.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that guy's like an encyclopedia. And then I guess I was on the Outlaw Country Station, which had been amazing, and just one great singer-songwriter after another. And then they also play like rock and roll people they think they belong as part of Outlaw. It was very, very interesting.
That's awesome.
I know. Because we don't drive here in New York, I'm like, I should just not put the TV on. I should just only listen to radio. I'm trying to think. There was one more that was amazing too. So many great, great stations, though, that you can get into. Oh, I know what it was. Mojo Nixon had John Mellencamp on. And I can't think of the girl's first name, but one of the Carters singing on this. She's amazing. It's crazy on the new album. And Mellencamp was just started talking about painting. He paints every day.
Really?
And he had no idea this. And I'm like, this is another show. Like, sometimes people, the Sklar brothers said sometimes they'll listen to us instead of going home. They'll just drive around for a while. That's what I was doing. I was just driving around the mountains.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially like if you are if you drive a lot, but it's so great for road trips. Like it's so great because you could just like stay the course with whatever you're listening to, and you could drive across country like that.
Well, remember the old days when you did before, and you were like, okay, I found a good radio station in Cincinnati. And then 45 minutes later, you just start to hear it breaking up. You're like, oh no, oh shit.
Now I have nothing.
Now what? And you just listen to bad radio after that. Bad radio was able to run for a lot of years. Anyway, it's great to be back. Captain D said, and when the days get longer, the bats really get flowing. It's like a moving dark cloud. So creepy. That's what I wanted to say.
I know.
Nicole said, listening to us go through the Moon Tower trip, making me wish we could go back right now. Yeah, I think she even wrote up something for the iBang. I think she should. She's really got her hand on a lot of comedy, man. She sees a lot of it, and it's got a very good palate.
Yeah, it was, and what a fun, relaxed, but like so much to do kind of event the whole time was. Like afterwards, when we were at the wrap party, the amount of comics just being like, this was like the best ever. Like, yeah, it was because best. Like it really was such a hangout. Like there was so much to do during the day. It just felt like you were meeting so many cool people. Yeah, I loved Austin.
When I saw Jim and Lisa and Colleen, like I was saying, I think this is the best. And like, they were still too busy to even get it when they come in. But they did an amazing job with the Moon Tower. And like what it's like with you guys, how stressful it is to put on one event. Imagine you had 10 going at the same time.
No, it's insane. They really did a fantastic job.
Maria Bamford on Mass this Friday.
This Friday, go to theinterrobang.com for a chance at free tickets. It's Friday, May 5th, 11 a.m. here at the SiriusXM studios.
That's going to be a blast.
Texas peanut brittle.
So, pecan brittle.
Pecan brittle.
So I got to, bring this up. The amount of people who say to me, I'm worried about Chris. Comedians, VPs from this organization, skanks.
Yes.
Skanks are worried about me.
Skanks and their girlfriends.
I want to bring this up one point. Did all the shows go smoothly and we're all sell-out success? They're awesome?
No one's worried about that. No one says Chris can't do his... Well, one person said Chris can't do his job. They're worried about you falling over.
I'm not... Or this is what happened. I'm in the Austin heat. I'm not drinking enough water. I got dehydrated.
You were slamming water, though. That's why people were concerned. I mean, that was one of the things that was brought up to me, was people come up, I'm worried about Chris. And we had this separately. People came up to us separately to say, I'm worried about Chris. And one of the things that they would cite was the amount of water you were consuming. Like, as though I have any control over that. And they're like, did you see him just pound a bottle of water in like 10 seconds? He did like 3 in a row. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. He's hot. He's very
sweaty, hot man. And I run hot.
Didn't it start to make you feel like an insult to us? Because I started to feel like they were like, you're not looking out for Chris.
I did get that. And I had that for years, when people would come to me and say, I'm worried about Fez. And I'd be like, well, then help. You know what I mean? Don't just drop by and tell me something. I know he's having problems, but what good is it that you're saying it? That's like saying sometimes I'm worried Shaq is getting tall. I mean, there's nothing I can do. You know, it's just like saying tall people don't live long. Yeah, I know.
There's nothing to worry about. I'm fine.
I know, but then everyone's saying that they're concerned, and it's making us look like shit. Like we're like bad friends. Like we're working you into the ground.
If anyone has anything to say to me, you come say it to my face, and you don't bother Ron and Gail Bennington.
Some of them would be glad to.
Shit.
Some of it would like to say it to you in front of HR, but
oh God.
I was told, I think Chris has too much on his plate. And I'm like, well, first of all, if you're talking about mashed potatoes, then yes. That is
100%. I always think that.
But B, that also makes Jen and Vito look bad because it makes them look like they haven't picked stuff up.
I handed off more to them on this trip than I ever would have. Like they had a bunch of responsibilities.
So you weren't doing much because I heard that too because you heard about the water and I heard about that and I heard about needing to sing.
Like this is not something that somebody should be talking about as a young man of his age. The amount of things that people cited to me.
This is during the
about your well-being. Your appearance.
Okay, for 15 minutes during the Sal Volcano Unmasked, I sat in the back and just chugged water. Does that makes me a fucking train wreck human being? I don't think so. It
does kind of sound like that when you say it out loud.
I think just I'm overweight and sweaty, and I was fucking dehydrated and ate a bunch of salty barbecue.
That's what they're saying. Just like you, if you would have said I'm worried about Chris, you'd be saying the same thing.
That's what happened.
You're only proving their point. This is what they're worried, that you can't handle meat like a regular person. Meat and heat. Those are not your strong suits.
It was overly salty meat that I wasn't used to. That's all that happened. I got dehydrated. I'm fine. I'm properly hydrated now. Everything's okay.
You know how you said that all the things that you felt like we accomplished?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the number one thing about Twitter? Like, oh my God, look how many shows they sold out. Or isn't that great that this show was so funny? All those were bypassed to talk about your buttons. Chris's buttons were the number one Twitter hashtag.
This is what people are talking about.
Oh my God, you just spit across it.
I was so far across the room that I was in danger of hitting my face. This is quite a distance. Yeah. I mean, Chris's look, maybe I'm just used to the button situation every day.
Bother me. Nothing about Chris bothers me. I hope you don't. What are you doing with my pecan?
I want a piece. I look good. I mean, there's a lot of pecan brittle here, Ron.
Whose name is on that bag?
Ron.
Would you just say Ron could have some of your pecan brittle?
Can I have one more piece?
Yes.
Thank
you may.
You ask those buttons if you can.
I'm glad this candid shot got added to the photo album.
This was actually when we were leaving. And honestly, I wasn't focused on the buttons. I was just shocked that somehow your outfits got worse. Like the outfit that you showed up to the airport in does not even compare to the outfit you left in.
What happened was,
I think those are the same shorts that he was wearing in the ocean.
Are they?
Do you always wear a shirt in the ocean?
Not always.
Yeah.
Oh, I was stripped down before when I that was like at the beginning when the ocean picture was when I just first walked into the ocean, but that was before I stripped down.
Now, how are you saying that you felt like you were going to drown and then you floated out of it?
Because like my feet hit the water and I was like, holy shit, I can't touch the I can't touch the sand.
Why would a person who doesn't know how to swim be over their head?
I was all banged out, man. I was not well.
And I'm like, to go into the ocean, I mean, I fancy myself a strong swimmer. I wouldn't go into the ocean drunk. I never would.
And the really scary part was, what freaked me out even more, there was no one on the beach. Like, it was early in the morning and no one gotten up yet. So I was all alone out there. There was no
we saw the photo.
Everyone else left because there was going to be bad weather. You stayed.
By the way, the amount of response to this photo, including photoshopping.
All right, let me say.
Here's Stanley at the beach in Normandy. Oh my God, this image of you is...
So, did he actually fall off the beach like he said he was going to that we made fun of?
He did fall off the beach like you said.
What's that movie? The Island of Dr. Moreau?
Dr. Moreau. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's so funny, dude.
All right, so here's the question, and everybody should be in on this, but Chris.
Okay.
What do we do to help you?
I
can't answer.
No, you cannot. I was really racking my brain about this, and I went to Jen as well.
Yeah.
During the trip, I was like, Jen, look, this is really weird. People are coming up to me and people are coming up to Ron, and they're all saying the same thing, that they're worried about Chris. They're worried about his
health. And these
health.
are people that love you. And they sincerely are concerned about you.
And they're worried about the stress level. And Jen was just as confused as I was, because we started to go, God, are we just too close to it? Like, we see Chris every day. I mean, Jen was like, I've seen Chris a lot more stressed than this. I've seen Chris, then we're like, well, maybe we should look at this. Like, and immediately we're like looking at ourselves as though we're not taking good care of our friend.
May I address that point? I don't need to be taken care of. I'm an adult male. Everything's fine.
You just told us that you're too dumb to know that you're over your head in the ocean.
Yeah.
No adult male who can't swim does that.
No.
And then, by the way, he said, I floated myself out of it. I go, well, that's the beginning of swimming.
Yeah.
You just start to move faster. Just think of it as a float crawl.
Yeah, you're using that weight to your advantage.
I'm so close to this swimming thing. I can feel it.
Yes, you are.
But nobody's got to worry about me. Thank you for the love, and I love you all back. But
I don't know if that really is what the point was. I mean, a lot of it was mentioning your weight, Chris. I didn't want to be blunt. Thank you for the love, and I love you back, bros. Stay real. Signing out, Chris Stanley.
All right, go over to the Bennington, because we've retweeted the Chris Bench picture, I guess, that may be...
Dude.
Yeah.
That was a lot of comments. Blew up on the social media. Comments and concerns about the button tension.
Yeah, there's some button tension, all right? I quit smoking, and I started replacing smoking with fucking food. All right, that's what I did. I smoked a pack and a half a day. Well, I gotta use this mouth doing something.
Suck that dick.
And I don't want to suck dick. I don't want to go down on dudes. So I'm going to eat more food.
It's actually kind of a slimming pose that you're in.
Good God, that's
I mean, horrible. You are.
Yeah, the top part is very slim.
Yeah, you're elongating yourself. I mean, I've seen worse angles on him. I don't know why everyone was so upset.
So, Chris, how long ago did you say to me, can I have one more piece?
I don't know, 10 minutes ago or something.
And how many have you eaten since then?
I haven't stopped eating it.
Okay. Just so you know. I'm just pointing that out to you.
Thank you for that.
Vito's looking good now.
Yeah, he's looking great.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
A lot of talk about that.
I saw a couple people asking, did Vito slim down? Or
how about this?
Comparison?
Okay.
I don't know.
What can we do to help? Tell us.
There's nothing you guys do to help. You guys, I help you. No one helps me. I help you guys. That's what I want to do.
All right. Now, and I believe this was the Eddie Pepitone. I'm about to go, maybe it was the Sal. Yeah, I think it was the Sal Vulcano. I don't know, wherever you were acting like a fucking maniac.
Both.
It was Sal.
So.
I know. It was Sal.
I'm going to be totally honest here. Don says to me, I'm worried about Chris. I go, well, you're the 90th person who said that to me. And he's like, he's drinking a lot of water and he needs to sit down through this whole thing. He goes, I've never seen a man need to keep sitting. And he said you would sit at different places. People were coming up and asking you questions about the show.
I was sitting because my back was all messed up I was sleeping.
Now, this kills me, though. Why doesn't Don say it to Chris? Why don't any of these people say, I'm worried about you? They think I'm the only one who can talk to Chris, or you're the only one who can talk to Chris?
I'm not really sure. Or maybe they don't want to insult him, so they're asking us to insult him.
Okay. I don't think it's an insult to say, do you need some help?
Right. But maybe that's where they're worried. Like, they don't want to come off like they're saying something negative about him.
I think if you didn't look like a hungover, sweaty, fucking stressed out maniac, people wouldn't worry.
Yeah, the sweats did come up a lot in topic of concern. The amount that you sweat.
Yeah, I sweat a lot. Has no one ever met anyone who sweat a lot before? I mean, Jesus H. Christ. It happens. Every human being sweats. Okay? That's why I had a goddamn bandana on around my head. Is that what people... Was the bandana made people freak out? Did that freak people out?
That freaked out this guy.
Has no one ever met someone who sweats a lot?
Huh? It sounds like they haven't.
You got to be careful with that bandana around your head, because I'm not saying who, but you picked up the nickname Hambo.
Insulting.
Tell Hambo. You already got too many nicknames.
I know. I mean, as much as I like that one. Oh my God. It's like I was eavesdropping on a very serious conversation with Vito and Chris before we even left for Austin, and I was like, what are they talking about like that? And I just hear Vito going, yeah, but why are you wearing it? And he's just like, what? I'm just like, wearing my bandana. And he's like, I get that you're saying you're wearing it, but why are you wearing it?
It's a good... Hey, all right, I like having the bandana on. It's my summer thing, all right?
It's a summer look.
I wear one today, but they're all soaked in sweat from St. Martin.
Sweat or semen? You can't use your jack rag to wrap around your forehead.
Ew, Chris.
As far as I can remember, I haven't jacked off in any of them.
All right, I'll just give you one more,
okay,
and then I'll drop it.
Okay.
And this is a shoot, and this person probably doesn't even want me to say it. But, so, you know, I mean, when I'm about to go on a mess, I'm thinking Impractical Jokers, you know what I mean? I'm trying to remember just a couple things so that they'll pop into my mind later. And Don's hitting me like, I'm really concerned about Chris. He's always drunk. He's
not always
sitting when he should be working. He's sweating. And I'm like, yeah, well, Chris is Chris. You know, what am I going to... He doesn't, you know... I'm worried he's got too many things on his plate. This is now my fault. It's not like Chris's fault. It's Ron's fault because he has too much on his plate. And then Don says to me, and I'm not fucking making this up, this is a complete shoot. He said, I think the weekly meeting would go better if it was just me and you, and we don't have Chris there.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think that would make any sense.
He thinks that if I, you know, do these things and hand them out, well, I can give them to other people and not you. Because you'll take stuff that you should be handing to Vito or me or Gail even. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like different things. And I think that was his concern, is everything's not passing through your system. Whether you're eating it, you know what I mean, or being told that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
you're holding it all in.
Yeah.
And it's giving you the meat sweats.
He referred to it as work constipation.
That's a real term.
And he goes, I'm just worried that he's going to explode with an amazing amount of work shit all over. And I go, like how? He goes, well, like he does his regular shits. Except for with work. All right, I made up the end of it, but I did not make up the beginning where he doesn't want you in the meetings anymore. So I'm going to ask for your notebook, and then I got to take notes like in 9th grade. I'll just say homophobic slur.
That's all comes off when I'm taking my notes.
Yes. Who else takes notes?
I got to take
girls
notes.
and homophobic slurs.
Guess I'm a homophobic.
Well, I guess you didn't do a lot of promos you were supposed to do.
Oh, yeah, there's some promos coming. I didn't know if there was. I didn't know he didn't tell me there were promos I haven't done.
Yes, no one's worried about the promos in the future that we don't need yet. It's the promos in the past that we need it. And Gail and I are going to do some takeover shows around, huh?
Yes.
Okay. When's that though?
One in a month and the other, one in a month and one in another month. So 2 over the next 2 months. End of this month, end of June.
Once a month?
Once a month.
Yes.
Once a month for the next 2 months.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be very fun.
All right.
Are you going to have
Flag
fun?
just said the only way that Hicks will lose weight if he runs over some old gypsy's daughter.
Jesus Christ.
Dinner.
Yeah, I never saw that. I don't watch stuff with... A couple of months of a nice cocaine habit will get him back into fighting shape. Holla at your girl, Millie Hatchet. I'm hollering at my girl. Here's a buddy Justin from Montreal. Hey, Justin.
Hey, guys.
Hey, bud.
Hey. Yeah, so I was remembering what Chris told me about his folks, right?
Yeah.
They're from Pennsylvania, and I remember the Carlisle Indian School was in Pennsylvania. And that's where Jim Thorpe learned to play ball, and, like, basically most natives were sent.
Well, do you know who Chris's all-time sports hero is Jim Thorpe.
Hell yeah. That's weird.
Oh, dude, yeah, same here.
Yeah, I'm going to say the truth, me too. Fucking love Jim Thorpe.
The man.
I want to be in the Thorpe Club.
Yeah, you should. Read up about it, but you'll cry towards the end. Believe me.
Yeah.
Tears will come.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm an easy cry.
It's mean what they did to Jim Thorpe.
Yeah.
And he had the same alcohol habit as Chris does.
Yeah. And also, Chris's intolerance to heat. I have the same fucking problem. There's a reason our ancestors used to run around bare ass in the summer. We're built for the winter, man. We just need a couple buskins and we're good.
Thank you.
Look,
Thank you, Justin.
You're going to come down, Justin, you're going to come down here with us this summer. I want you and Chris to dress in the North American garb.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. I wear bandanas too because my fucking forehead sweats like a monster.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
He's on this case. He understands, man. He's getting
I'll
your
come in
whole
defense
heritage.
of the red man any day.
so you really think that Chris could be Native American?
I think there's a pretty good chance.
He has
man.
the hair for it, that's for sure.
Yeah, and the heat intolerance, like, I think that's the final thing for me, man.
Yeah.
I believe him. And I'm like not hairy in the body too.
And you struggle with your alcohol.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Yeah. And he loves tobacco.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
What tribe would you think Chris would be from?
That's tough to say because they were sending a lot of tribes to that area. But if he's truly from New York, there's a chance, he's either, Mohawk or one of the Iroquois types.
Nice.
Or God damn it, the Lenape. Yeah.
Oh, the Lenape. We got Lenape here. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
I think it was the Lenape. I'm not sure.
That's hilarious to me because I've said because I'm from that area.
Yeah.
And Lenape Park is actually Lenape Park. Well, my parents are racist even more than I thought. If I had to pick what Chris was, whatever the Go-Go Gophers were, that was his tribe.
Yeah. So I also wrote an article for you guys on the Interrobang.
What's that?
I reviewed this Canadian show called Letterkenny. It's all about small town Canadian life. And like it's universal, but it's got such a unique voice, and it's so vulgar, and like it's a show that's got balls, man. And
where can we see this? We have to see it on Canadian TV, or is it online somewhere?
Yeah. You could probably snipe it online somewhere. You're gonna have to ask Chris how to do that. But I think they're making moves on making it an American show as well, because they hear people are sniping it all over the world. Because no matter where you go, these characters and these archetypes, the gangs, it's the same everywhere. You just change a few things, and like I just can't help but relate. It's such a funny show, the best one since Trailer Park Boys for sure.
And that's a big favorite of yours, right, Chris?
Oh, I'm in on this then. Yeah, I love Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Or TPB, as us parkheads say.
Parkheads.
Why don't we do this? Let's find out where we can get those things, because I would love for Jen to get one done because she's not really sure of all this stuff with him.
Yeah.
No sense getting Vito done. That's 100% Italian.
Yeah.
We might as well just put some fucking pasta sauce on a goddamn stick, send it in, and get looked at.
I think I found his doppelganger in Montreal. His name's Mario. He works at this restaurant I go to from time to time.
Well, that sounds
He looks
about
like
right.
what Vito looks like in his pictures. He's just a shorter version.
And what's your name in when we go to Quebec? It's fuck you?
Vito fuck.
Yeah, Vito fuck.
Carlis.
Yeah, we should just go around videotaping people's reactions to your birth certificate or something.
That would be great. All right, buddy, we're going to see you soon, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm super excited, man.
Us too. Should be fun. All right, take care.
Peace.
Yeah.
Bye, Justin.
What's that about?
Weird. It's just weird.
I like that he's defending me and my sweating. And the bandana wearing.
You just look so proud.
Bye, Justin.
Bye, Justin.
That's no goddamn Native American tribe has ever went. Bye, Justin.
Bye. Miss you already.
Jen, what do you think is in your background? In your genetic background?
I think Indian, African, and Portuguese is my main.
Really?
Yeah. I did the heritage, so I'm getting my results back the beginning of June.
All right, don't open them until you're on the air.
Okay.
It's got to be on.
Okay.
Chris, did you already do yours?
No, I'll do mine this week. I'll get them in.
Oh, Jen already did hers.
I'll find
She's a good student.
I'll expedite it.
Well, I'll bring it up tomorrow at the meeting you're not invited to.
Really like to be at that meeting. I feel like I should be there.
What I like is you've given more work to me.
That's the last thing I want to do.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Chris, is it?
Yes. It's like I said.
We already know I'm the only guy that can identify the body.
Yeah, I have no tattoos.
Shit. I don't know. You know what? Let's get you one tattoo. Just make it my cell number. We found this on a corpse. Yeah. I know him.
Well, it was bound to happen.
Well, I don't know whether you guys know this story, but over the weekend, there was a special shot in New York City, a comedy special. Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, whoa.
Jerry Seinfeld shot a special in a club. In a club, not a theater. Jeffrey Gurian was there, and we'll see if he can give us some details. And it's all up on the iBang, too. Jeffrey, you cover the waterfront,
Ron,
huh?
How are you?
You cover the comedy waterfront. So
I'm sorry, did I cover the what?
Well, I said you already cover the comedy waterfront, but tell us about the Jerry Seinfeld special, where it was shot and what it was about.
It was an amazing event. It was literally comedy history was made, and it's been a secret for a while. But, Jerry's been preparing to do 2 Netflix specials, and he's been rehearsing for months now. And he kept saying that he had started out, that when he started performing, there were only 2 clubs in the city. And he was alluding to the fact that he wanted to go back to his original club because one of his specials, he wanted to do the material that he did when he first started back in 1976. And that led him, 5 years later, he was on the couch with Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. So it was a fascinating story of such a quick rise. And what happened was Netflix came to the comic strip, which is the club where he started. Jerry had hinted about that. He said that he wanted to go back to the club where the owner told him that he wasn't worth $5 a show. And because in the early days, the comics worked for free until they went on strike. There was a big strike that started in California, and the comics got like $3 a show. And then I think there was a thing where they wanted $5 a show, and all the comedy club owners had a meeting to decide whether that should actually happen. And so I guess Richie said to him as a joke, he knew that he wasn't worth $5 a show. Well, anyway, he decided to go back there to do this special, and Netflix came in and they rebuilt the club to look the way it did in 1976. They put the stage back on the other side of the club, and they put a piano on the stage. And Jerry brought some of his best friends in from L.A. to host the show with him. Jimmy Brogan, who's been Jay Leno's guy for
Jimmy Brogan is a terrific comic.
He's a great comic. And
Jimmy Brogan also had a TV show in the early 80s. I think he played an angel.
I wouldn't be surprised because he's like an angel incarnate. He's the gentlest guy. He's the guy that really started crowd work. Nobody did "Where Are You From, Sir?" before Jimmy Brogan.
No, and then
the funny story was that nobody knew how funny he could be because he would go on late night when there's like 6 drunks in the audience, and he'd be like, "Where are you from, sir?" and nobody would answer him.
So he needed to be on earlier.
Funny.
Yeah.
And then one night, a comic didn't show up, and they had nobody to put on. So Richie Pinkin, the owner of the club, decided to put Jimmy on, and he killed because there was a full room of people, and he killed. And so from that time on, he was always on the early shows. So he came in.
Yeah. Now, don't you think this is so strange for Seinfeld that you're doing 40-year-old material? Did any of it not make sense anymore? Did he talk about record players or
not at all? It was
U.S.
all
mail?
evergreen. That's what's so interesting, man. It was evergreen. It could have been done today. It didn't feel old at all.
What's the deal with disco pants?
It was really amazing to watch, and then Mark Schiff was there. George Wallace was there. We hung out watching the show, and George is Jerry's best friend, and all these guys have stayed together all these years. So Mark Schiff does this thing where he interrupts Jimmy Brogan while he's on stage as if he's heckling him, and they used to do that back in the 70s, and they reenacted it, and the place was packed. Wall-to-wall people. It was very selective who got tickets. Nobody's still sure how that went down. I asked the head of Netflix. He didn't even know. He said it was a very, very hard ticket to come by. And yet, so they did 2 shows on Saturday and another taping on Sunday. And it was literally making comedy history because it brought the attention back to the comic strip. Which is the only club that's open from those days. It was the Improv, Catch a Rising Star, and the comic strip. Well, and so it was a very, very exciting evening in comedy.
And all these years, Jerry hasn't really been in touch with Richie Tinkin. This came out of nowhere.
No, when he came into the club to do the book for us, that was about the last time he came in, and he came in the best mood. He couldn't have been nicer. He was friendly and open, but never came back to the club. So this was a real surprise. One day he just walked in the afternoon, and he said to the manager and to Richie's wife, he goes, "I think I want to do my special here." So everybody was thrilled. And
did they know he was coming in that afternoon?
Excuse me?
Did he call ahead and said, "I want to talk to you guys"?
No, he just strolled in.
He just walked in.
Yeah, from what they told me, he just strolled in. They were shocked.
Strolled. Didn't even walk. He strolled.
I'm very casual.
He strolled. He sashayed in, which is a term that you haven't heard since '76.
Now, Jerry normally goes in and does the Gotham on Tuesday nights, right?
Yeah, he's real good friends with Chris Mazzilli, and that's a club he's really comfortable in. So he's been coming in there 2 to 3 times a week. Just about every time I'm there, he would walk in to rehearse his material. And he'd do 30 to 40 minutes. Always went, standing ovations.
Yeah, they go bananas. They go bananas when their TV set is...
The crowd can't believe that he's there. First, there's always a hesitation when they introduce him as if it's not real.
It's true.
And then he takes off his baseball cap and they see it's him.
And it is real.
The crowd goes insane. Yeah, they go insane. And then
literally insane, and they have to be taken to Bellevue.
Yeah, they have to be rushed to the hospital. That's the only way to get there. You know that.
The article is up on the iBang. This is a pretty unusual thing. I've never heard of anyone doing this before. I mean, this is nostalgic in a way that most people don't get the opportunity to be.
Yeah.
To go back, have the old club look the same. And he just did the material. He wasn't, hey, it's, in and out of new stuff, right?
Yeah, it was supposedly all material that he did in his early days.
And he didn't explain any of it? He just did the material. He didn't explain it?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
He never went like, oh, here's a bit I used to do. It didn't work as well as I wanted. Maybe it'll work. He didn't do any of that kind of stuff.
No, it was a smooth transition from one subject to the other, but it was all, just it could have been done today, but it's stuff that he.
You talk about a little bit on the spectrum.
The story was,
it's a bit.
He became an MC at the comic strip faster than anybody else because from the very beginning they could tell that he was somebody special. And George Shapiro was there with him, his longtime manager, and they were in a trailer by themselves. But I remember stories that George told me that from the first time he saw Jerry, he knew he was going to be a big star. And he sent a letter to the head of NBC, he told me, and he remembered the words. He always said, "Call me crazy, but this kid is going to do something huge."
You're crazy, George Shapiro.
They would think he was crazy, and it was true.
George Shapiro is this legendary show business figure, worked on, producing all kinds of shows, and he used to be Andy Kaufman's guy.
Exactly.
So,
he managed Andy Kaufman, and he used to be involved in the Andy Kaufman Award.
The Kaufman. So what happened is, in the movie, Danny DeVito is playing George Shapiro, if you ever go back and watch the movie. But George is one of those guys that, has Elvis stories and Frank Sinatra. Those are always my favorite kind of guys. All right, I got to go to break. Thanks, Jeffrey. It's up on the iBank.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right.
Soon.
Talk to you soon.
Okay, buddy.
But very, very unique thing that's coming out. All right, we'll break here, come back, and wrap it up. Bennington.
You're listening to Bennington. It's Porch Light for Maniacs.
It's the Bennington Show. This is Flying By. We wanted to send out that tip of the hat to our new Austin buddies. And I'm going to say this, our sister radio program now. And that's Dudley and Bob with Matt. And that was so much fun doing that show with them.
I did feel like like they were like sister show immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah. I was like,
as soon as meeting them.
Yeah. And they were so fun and they're just like really they're quick and funny and they've got just like such a great audience. We had a blast with those guys.
Well, Bob came up with something. I'm going to say at first it made me nervous, but I ended up not being able to kick it out of my mind, and that's the Bennington barometer.
Yes.
Something that you guys should have invented for me.
I know, you're right. So Bob created this great thing. He's giving you an either or, the Bennington barometer. You give your pick.
I have to pick in between something that I love, so I had to go Lou Reed or David Bowie, Kinnison or Bill Hicks. These are tough calls.
Yes.
These are Sophie's choices, or Bennington barometers, as I now call them.
It was very smart. Okay, so I have one for you.
A Bennington barometer.
A Bennington barometer.
Chris, hit the sounder that you have for those, Bennington barometer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make it sound really radio great.
Okay. Bennington
You're
barometer.
just doing it yourself.
Yeah, we're talking about production. All right, so this is great directors current. The Bennington barometer, Wes Anderson versus Paul Thomas Anderson. The two Anderson geniuses.
I don't think you could hurt me any more than this question. I'm just going to yank off the scab. I'm surprising some people with this because I have no regard for comedy and every regard for drama. Paul Thomas Anderson wins.
Wow. I thought that it was going to be a tough call, but you were
Did you
going
all think the same thing?
I thought you're going what?
I thought you would go.
All right, here's what we'll do. This could be great. You guys, I want you to make up paddles, right? For an A or B, and then you have to turn around paddles.
Yes.
Okay?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm making my paddle right now.
Yeah, make your paddles right now. Make your paddles.
I got paddles. Right.
Yeah, don't show it to me, and then we'll see who matched up. How do I
Right.
know you're just not going to put up what piece of paper you want, though?
Yeah.
I feel like it's being fucking ripped off by Chris. I've already been told you're a meat sweaty bastard who can't be trusted. All right, give me the next Bennington barometer.
All right, so how about this one?
Bennington barometer.
I hate how underproduced this is. It's terrible. And you should give credit every time to
I
who
know.
came up with it.
And this is Bob.
Bob Fonseca, thank you for the Bennington
That's not
barometer.
what you do. Say thank you like that. You go from the creative mind of, and then you do the whole thing.
Right.
You know, I shouldn't have to tell you how to produce, but you're an alcoholic who doesn't know how to produce.
All right. Bennington barometer. The Ramones or the New York Dolls?
That's so hurtful.
I know.
Does everyone believe they have it?
I have it.
So A would be Ramones, B, New York Dolls.
All right, as I say it, everyone turn around. Ready? The New York Dolls.
I just got barometered.
Everybody was barometered, or do you have A? I can't read over there.
I got B.
Everybody thought he was going to take the Ramones?
No, I thought New York Dolls.
Okay, I didn't remember. All right, good. You guys all know me.
We know
Although
you.
you didn't know me about the Paul Thomas Anderson.
No, that was
This is good. This is about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a thing about
Chris,
you.
you want to give me one?
I got one, sure.
Yeah.
From the creative mind of Bob Fonseca, this is the Bennington barometer.
That's really terrible.
Paul Newman or James Dean?
All right, you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
I love James Dean, but I chose Paul Newman.
I got barometered yet again.
Well, got barometered means what?
I think I matched.
Yeah,
it's a match.
Yeah, but that
sounds
doesn't
so
sound
negative.
barometered. It sounds like a bad thing happened.
Yeah, it's like you've been barometered. Sounds
So
like
you guys,
fucked it
since
up.
we're on the radio, have to yell out match or no match.
I match.
Match.
But I think I've talked. The reason why you did that, I've talked about it on the show before, and that's why that was a stupid question. I said that you have to give Paul Newman his due for how long he lasted. Anyone could make 3 good films and then get fucking in a car accident and die. Vito, you asked one.
From the creative mind of Bob Fonseca, this is the Bennington barometer.
Bad production on this.
Glam rock or Philly soul?
Holy
Oh
shit.
my
That's
God! Why
fucked
would
up.
you do that to
Vito,
him?
you know me better than anybody else. Glam rock or Philly soul? Well, I'm going to tell a short story. I think I told this before. And I grew up on Philly soul. It was at every church dance I've ever was at in my life. And David Bowie was coming to Philly. And I'm like, oh, great. He's going to turn this into Glam Town. And that means I choose glam rock. Match or no match?
Match.
No match for me.
I'm glad. I'm glad that you thought that much of the Philly soul. It makes me like you more than the other two, Vito.
What? Why? I matched. I didn't
that
get
he thought I had
barometered.
soul.
Or did I?
All right, Bennington Barometer. We don't have much time here.
Bennington barometer.
Maria Bamford. It was brought to you by Maria Bamford, who'll be here on Unmasked.
Unmasked this Friday, 11 a.m. at the SiriusXM studios in New York City. Go to theintirebank.com for your chance for free tickets. It's Unmasked with Maria Bamford.
And by the way, when I was on this, when the Bennington Barometer was invented, you can hear that. We'll put it up on Twitter. It was a really great, fun night. Really a great show to be able to do with those guys. And they've got just tons of stories. All right, let's go.
All right, Bennington barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
From the creative mind, Bob Fonseca. It's the Bennington barometer. Paperback or hardcover books?
Oh, dear madam, can you read my... I'm reading a book right now that I'm enjoying. And I think one of the reasons why I'm enjoying is a nice hardback.
Match.
Yeah, I
Match.
think anybody.
Unmatched.
I think every human being. I mean, you missed again?
Yeah, because I was thinking maybe you might like an easy read where you could fold the pages back.
Guess what? I fold the fucking pages back of a hard book. I could never even sell a book. It looks like the dog got a hold of it when I read it. Vito, I love the fact that you brought that up. That makes me like you more than the other two.
What?
Chris, do you want to do something that I just didn't bring up on the show a couple days ago? I don't know how much time I got left either.
All right, we only have a few minutes left.
Go,
all right. From the creative mind of Bob Fonseca, this is the Bennington Barometer.
God, I hate the way that's angry.
I started getting fast. Blondes or brunettes?
Forget that. That's a fucking sexist thing.
Why is it sexist? It's just an opinion.
Are you ready?
It's barometer.
Brunettes.
Match.
Yay!
Matchtown.
But by the way, you're not going to ask anymore. Because guess what? If I would have said blonde, that'd have been fucking crazy. If I would have said Asian blonde, that's going to fuck me up. Vito, so you're done asking. Vito, go ahead and ask. Bennington Barometer.
From the creative mind of Bob Fonseca, this is the Bennington Barometer. Philadelphia Eagles or Philadelphia Phillies?
It's a great fucking question. It's a great question. I have to answer. What's wrong? You were going to ask that?
I was thinking
Well, then why didn't you ask instead of your dumb questions? All right, I'm going to tell this as a story. Obviously, baseball is a better game than football. Baseball is a better game to go to. Yet, I watch more football than I do baseball. Am I going to go with my heart or be absolutely honest? Because if you put the clock on me, I don't sit around and watch whole games of baseball. And I would never go to a fucking football game. It's too fucking rowdy and stupid. But, to be totally honest, I probably watch more baseball, watch more football, go to more baseball games, listen to more baseball games. But in terms of watching and the upset level that you get, I get upset with the Eagles. I don't get upset with the Phils. Unfortunately, I've got to say Eagles.
I was wrong.
Oh, no match.
I was wrong too.
You all would be completely correct if you said, what do you like more? What do you enjoy more? What gives you more pleasure?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't sit around watching games on TV. It's fucking 4 hours or whatever. But I told you, I had more fun than I'll have this year doing anything at a fucking minor league game where I didn't know one player.
That sounded like a blast. Plus, like that crazy play you saw. Like that would be like fantastic no matter what. Like just to like
exciting.
witness that.
There was like only 2,000 fans there. But you know what? We acted like there was 2,100. I mean, we treated ourselves like there was an extra 100 people.
Now just think if I was there, I wouldn't know the difference. Because I never know how many people
I
in a
picked that up.
stadium.
And also, I could look at the ball and tell you how fast he was throwing it.
Wow,
I
really?
go, this kid's in the high 90s. And I go, is there a gun around here? And they go, yeah, right up there in the corner is a gun. It was coming in 99, 98, 97, 100, 101, 102. He fucking ends the game throwing a strike at 102 miles an hour.
It's insane.
Is that the end of my peanut brittle?
That's the last bite.
I didn't realize.
Guess what? There's a meeting tomorrow with me and Don. Don't be there.
Come on, just because the brittle or the sweat.
And I'll tell you something else. There's a stage leaving today at 3 o'clock. Be under it. Always looking for a chance to use that joke. All right, one more, Gail.
All right, let's go.
By the way, so far, Vito asked the best questions.
I know, he really did. All right.
Chris asked the worst.
Bennington Barometer.
Bennington Barometer.
From the creative mind of Bob Fonseca, this is the Bennington Barometer.
Bennington.
Bennington Barometer.
It's Bennington, you fucker.
It's hashtag Bennington.
I could play this game every day, by the way.
Bennington Barometer.
Mm-hmm.
Carlin or Pryor?
This is harder than the Phils or the Eagles.
Great question.
I'm going to be totally honest here. Both of these guys meant a lot to me, but I'm going to take it back to the Paul Newman thing at this point in my life. And I remember once Jay Moore arguing this to me and me picking Pryor at the time. And that's because George was still alive. And I'm like, he's still alive. Why would I give him anything? It's all for Richard. But looking it over and looking at the lifetime of work that George Carlin gave to the art of comedy. George Carlin.
Match.
All you guys match because you think I'm racist, and it wasn't based on that at all.
Yes, but it did help.
That's true. I think I adapt very, very quickly to when I find out that something like I'm able to now say, or a couple of years ago, I would have said the homophobic slur instead of now just saying homophobic slur.
Right.
You know, and I'll say that African American slur doesn't belong in this neighborhood. You know, and know that I'm progressing. I'm progressing. Hey, what's up, Jay?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good.
I got a Bennington barometer for you.
Oh, Bennington barometer.
From the creative mind of Bob Van Sucker, this is the Bennington barometer.
Daryl Hall or John Oates?
You know, they just did them on CBS Sunday Morning. And as anybody listening to this program knows, and I tease the people from Austin because they like people from Austin, but I like people from Philly. And I always root for people from Philly. I don't give a fuck who you are. If there was a serial killer that came out of Philly, I'd be like, I like that dude better than Manson. I'm a homer that way. I will give the answer that John Oates would give Daryl Hall. And it's no slight.
No
oh, you went with John?
I went with John.
You know I love John Oates.
I went with Hall.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, who doesn't love the Oat Man? Of course.
He went back. He did a very giant. He was with, I forget her name. She used to be at MTV BJ. Now she's on CBS Sunday Morning. Stunning girl. But he went back to the place exactly where Hall and Oates met each other at the old Adelphia theater, and they were both in different bands about to go on stage. And they used to, these were considered like all black nights, and then Hall and Oates, even separately, were part of those nights. That's how engraved they were to the Philly soul scene. And a gunfight broke out, and they were both heading out the back through an elevator. And that's when they go, oh, you go to Temple? I go to Temple too. Maybe we should get together and jam sometime. And 50 years later, I did it, folks. I made Hall and Oates bigger than they've ever been in their life. John Oates said that to us the other day, that they are bigger now than ever.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That's really wild to think.
It's very, very strange, but I think the same would be said. I don't know if Bruce Springsteen's, well, I don't know, Bruce Springsteen in the early 80s, right before he broke up the E Street Band, I mean, that was a massively popular thing.
But you would say that more popular then versus now, or at the bigger height of his career kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't know. It would be tough to call for Springsteen. I think he's probably fallen off since Born in the USA days. It's probably now nobody goes to see him. Am I right, Vito?
I go to see him quite a bit.
Look at Vito just lean forward to defend. But I mean, look, believe me, go back and look at from like 83 and 84. I mean, that was crazy. That's when he used to just bend his hand like that and the whole audience would move that way. I'll never forget seeing that. I don't know why everybody wants somebody to be popular because they like them. You know what I mean? I like to like people that are unpopular, like Chris Stanley.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Unmasked, Maria Bamford, Friday, May 5th, 11 a.m. at the SiriusXM studios. Go to theinterrobang.com for a chance at free tickets. And I'm going to get Maria Bamford to play the Bennington Barometer.
Nice. Please do. Just 1 hour, though?
Yeah. 1 hour. All right. Come up with two more things.
She's like,
I don't know.
It's a Maria Bamford show.
Chris Hartwell said, did Vito say that he could remember the name Alan in the Boots store name? So what part did he forget? Boots? I'll just say that, Chris Hartwell. Points.
Points.
Do. Someone said that this game is just like Saturday, but they don't have to die. We used to do the Saturday show.
Oh, yeah.
What day will you be sadder? Steve Martin dies or Robin Williams dies? We found out. I don't think any of us will even care when Steve Martin dies. If anything, it'll be a relief.
Oh, my God.
All right, we got to wrap this up. Chris, anything we need to plug?
We just talked about Maria Bamford.
Yes, we did.
That's May 5th, this Friday, 11 a.m. Go to theinterrobang.com for a chance at free tickets.
And download the new Gail Meets Girls on the Interrobang with Morgan Murphy, the special that we did at the Moon Tower Comedy Festival. Go to theinterrobang.com.
Really, really fun. All right, that's it for us. We'll see you guys again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!